Good evening, and welcome to another episode of The Curse of Strahd. This is episode 8, Within the Walls. So hello everyone, I am Kelly, I'm your Dungeon Master for Curse of Strahd, and joining me tonight are a few of my very close friends who are embarking on this horrific adventure. Take that as you will. So why don't we say hi to Amy so she can go back to looking for her dice.
Yay! Hi, I'm Amy, and I am playing Shasta Denmora. I'm a half elf, right? Yeah, half elf paladin.
You're less than a full elf.
I am less than elf. Yes.
Okay. So hello, Amy.
Hi.
Go back to looking for your dice.
Thanks.
All right. Hi, Michael.
Hi, everyone. I am playing Zan the Plan, the rogue with the biggest bird brain on the planet, apparently. I don't know. Throw some bird seed at me, I'll leave you alone.
All right. Hello, Neil.
Hi there, I'm Neil, and I'm playing Brother Constantius Carus. He's a cleric.
He's
Nice
not just
and
a good bro.
Ta-da!
Nice and simple. And hello, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm playing Illican Dawncaller Vaime Laga, the Goliath Barbarian.
All right. And if you haven't noticed, the last few episodes, we have been doing things distance because we're in the middle of the COVID thing that's sweeping the world. I think Madagascar is okay.
No,
That's-
I think there is some because that joke was made.
Was it? We didn't survive that? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to
So we're
Curse of
fucked.
Strahd. We're in Barovia, so it hasn't reached Barovia yet, but we've got other problems here. So, you don't need to wear your face mask in Barovia, but you can if you want to.
I have an Avengers one that my coworker made me.
Really?
It has to be washed though, so
That's pretty dope.
pretty
All right.
good.
So, welcome to chapter 8 of The Curse of Strahd, and thank you for everybody who normally tunes in and did not last week because we had some player illness, so we are back and ready to rock. Last time in Curse of Strahd, let's see, you discovered that Zan had been infected with lycanthropy, cursing him to be a were-raven. Using this knowledge, you proceeded to do literally nothing, and
that's not exactly true.
that's not true. You sought a cure from the local church, at which point you met with the priest and learned that the bones of Saint Andrus that had consecrated the church had been stolen. Using your detective skills, you hunted down the culprit who had stolen them. A worker at the church, a big boy named Mikolash, I believe. No one correct me? Okay.
I don't.
It's been too
I
long
think it was
now, I don't
Noah
remember.
Volt
Yeah.
or something, but
Let me check my notes.
I was wondering if you guys took notes, basically.
Yeah.
I'll just start putting in, like, lies every time I do this, otherwise. Yeah.
Well, I don't remember who it was that we encountered because it was Yeska who took them, but then I don't remember.
my notes say Milivolge-Thug, but that doesn't mean that I wrote down the right name.
That is the correct name. So a local thug who stole them in order to sell them and sold them to the coffin shop owner.
Yeah.
Who was keeping them. You went and confronted him, found that he was harboring several vampires. Vampire
Which you never
spawns.
expect at a coffin shop.
Forced.
Forced coercion.
Yeah.
That is what I kept notes on. I have that noble's name.
Oh, what's the noble's name?
Vasily von Holtz.
Vasily von Holtz. All right. And I believe, where did we end game last time? It was just as you were heading back out into the town, right? That sounds right to me.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we
it's-
hadn't gotten back yet and gotten them back to the priest or the curse lifted.
Mm-hmm.
I think we still had that to do.
All right. It's midday when you head back outside. The sun has vanished behind a thick covering of black cloud overhead, and in the distance you can hear the sound of rain buffeting distant thatched roofs. As you head back outside, you can see that preparations are well underway for the new festival that's coming in just a few days' time.
Gonna be the best.
Do you decide to head back to the church?
I think that was the plan, just to get the bones returned
Okay.
right away.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
quick
so.
walk. About 5 minutes across town. You will find yourself very quickly at the base of the St. Andrew's Church. The slouching centuries-old stone church with a bulging steeple and lined walls covered in cracked, stained glass windows depicting poor and pious saints. A thin mist is creeping among the graves that are to its side, behind a wrought iron grate. And as you approach, the doors of the church are already open. Seeing you approaching, the priest, Father Lucian Petrovich, smiles. Hello, my friends. Do you have good news?
We do indeed. We have brought that which you sought.
That's so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. Please, come inside. Come inside. We should return the bones, and then I can tend to your malady.
I agree.
All right. The priest walks you inside, and being midday, the church is completely barren, with the exception of an altar boy who is polishing a number of brass candlesticks up at the front of the room. As you approach the altar, the priest turns to you and holds out his thick, meaty hands to you. If I may.
Of course. Assuming I have the bones, although I don't actually remember who's carrying them. If I have them, I will hand them over.
All right. Taking the bones from you, he checks the bag that they were dumped into unceremoniously, says a brief prayer to the Dawn Lord, and reinterns them underneath the altar, sealing the capsule and saying a long and fairly emotional prayer to the Dawn Lord, which seems a little lackluster to you with your prayers to Brig, Brother Karis, but I suppose that any port in a storm. Now, as he completes his prayer, you will feel that a shiver runs over each of you. And once again, the coolness, the dampness, and just the grim Gothic architecture of this room suddenly feels warmer, brighter. A shaft of sunlight pierces through the clouds just enough to light the altar for a moment through stained glass, casting the altar and the priest in dazzling oranges, blues, and red. And that's when you notice, though, that although the priest is suddenly illuminated, suddenly shining in his God's glory again, that line of red falls directly across his throat. For a moment, the light seems to bleed down the front of his is it Cossack? Is the word I'm thinking of Cossack?
Cassock?
Cassock, thank you. Is it Cassock?
That sounds right. But
The
I'm
light seems to
Yeah.
bleed down the front of his vestments.
There we go.
There we go. I'll just switch it up. And
Because
The-
Cossack is a Russian
so yeah.
warrior type.
No, that's
Cassock, I
not.
think,
He's
is
not
a-
wearing that then. So,
Cassock, I think, is the right word for the vestments.
well, we're gonna say vestments then, but it's probably a cassock. It's a classic cassock. The line of red drawn across his throat seems to bleed down his vestments, and the light will actually falter as thunder crackles outside. And as you look, his eyes suddenly become hollow, and his face skeletal in the shadow. A dark omen indeed. You're Zan the Plan, correct?
Yes, that's me.
Yes, well, kneel before the altar of the Morning Lord, my son.
Oh, sure. Run over there and kneel promptly.
He puts one hand on the altar and one hand on your forehead. In the name of the Morning Lord, I call for the rays of light to wash away the curse that has found its way into this poor man's soul. Please, please, my lord, guide away this evil. Banish it from his heart forevermore.
Yes, please.
All right, so with that, he will use the newly consecrated altar, and you are going to be removed cursed.
Woo.
You feel your curse. I would say that you feel your curse lift, but to be honest, you don't feel any different.
Okay, so do we wait around till a full moon or something now?
You may wait around for the rest of your life, my friend. Unless you become cursed again, you should have nothing to fear.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
My recommendation, though, would be to not become cursed again.
Okay, that's yes.
It makes life easier if you don't.
Should I give you like some money or something for that, or is this like the goodness of your heart?
It's not the good. I mean, it is the goodness of my heart, but the goodness of your heart as well that has brought this this malady to an end. You returned the bones of Saint Andrel. I am in your debt. Well,
oh, awesome. Well,
but I suppose we're even now.
Cool. Awesome. I'll just go then, shall I?
You may go with the Morning Lord's light.
Thanks. Okay.
As he says that, you will hear the sound of heavy boots enter the church. Yeah. You can go with the Morning Lord's grace, and you'll come with us. As you glance back at the front of the room, you can see the man that is the Baron's right-hand man. An ironic sentiment, given that his right hand is a glaring, demonic thing, creeping with green and blackish scales and sharp nails the length of a child's finger. The Baron wishes to speak with you. Come peacefully or come in chains.
Sorry, who does he wish to does he wish to speak with us or with the priest here?
We have no need of the father. The
So,
four of you.
What business does he have with us?
Father, you're going to have a cleanup on your hands if they don't come here soon.
I feel that requesting to know the business we're being asked to.
The Baron requests it. That should be enough, you spineless toad.
If I was a spineless toad, I would not be asking questions.
Isaac strides forward, moving directly up against you. Are you all going to do anything?
As he starts walking forward, Stash is going to start walking, taking steps backwards and reaching for her weapon.
Okay. You start reaching for your...
Encore's just going to watch to see what's happening.
Look, there must be some misunderstanding. We are merely passing through town. We intend to move on tomorrow when the light is fresh.
Or we could even move on now.
I'm going to start shuffling back on my knees.
Okay. Ooh.
Boop.
Someone vanished.
That was...
Yeah, you covered me with a something.
That would be the chat window.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I fixed it.
Thank you.
And I fixed Amy's head.
Yay!
Well, as much as anybody could ever fix that.
I mean,
thing.
the physical general appearance, not what's going on inside of it.
That's true. Let me just move Isaac a bit. And we'll just... There we go. Now Amy's exactly where she needs to be.
Yay!
And let's just lock everything down. There we go.
Yay!
Okay. He approaches, and Brother Karas, one more time, you said that...
Roughly, there must be some misunderstanding. We are simple travelers, passing through town. We will be gone at the first light of tomorrow.
Is that why you poisoned me yesterday?
I
Who
look
poisoned you?
confused.
This one there. He points his finger at Zan. Poisoned me with one of them pastries.
God, you confiscated those.
Indigestion is hardly poisoning.
What are you doing eating them?
All right. Amy, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 17.
Okay.
Which, can I have, like, is there anything I can roll to kind of identify what the hell this guy is?
You can try to give me an intelligence roll or an arcana roll. Amy, as Shasta speaks...
Nat 20! Either or, it doesn't matter. They're both the same.
He lashes his hand out to try to strike you across the chin, but miscalculates how far you are away, and you step back out of its reach. There will be no bloodshed inside of these walls, my friends, the priest says, raising his hands.
Indeed. Let's take this outside and be civil about it.
After you. Looking at him, Dawn Caller, and that hand, you have no idea what the hell he is in terms of, he's human. And that's the frustrating part. Looking at that arm, though, it is obviously demonic in nature. If you had to place it, you'd say that it looks kind of like the arm of a barbed devil, or maybe a horned devil. These fiends of the pit. Generally, what it looks like, though, is that the rest of his body is perfectly normal, aside from some scars and a little bit of pockmarking around his nose from a bad case of the pox as a child. The arm, though, looks almost grafted on. You've heard that warlocks sometimes make pledges like this? Perhaps he is a dark patron. Regardless, you imagine that this demonic arm probably gives him some power that you would prefer not to see the dark side of. All right. What do you four do? Do you head outside?
I'd like to divine sense to figure out what the hell he is.
Sure.
I mean, if he's undead, celestial, or fiend. If he's none of those, then it won't trigger anything, but she would do that.
When you look at him, his arm is fiendish. You will see his arm glowing with an evil light. But besides that, that's the only thing that is. It's just that right arm.
She'll just narrow her eyes at it, and then, giving him wide berth, just, like, pass out of the church into the open air.
All right. As you step out into the open air, you can hear the sound of boots all around you. And do the other three of you go as well?
Yeah, I'll step out.
All right. As you step outside, Zan, you were?
Well, I'm gonna throw my hands up and say, "I claim sanctuary. I'm not leaving the church."
All right. What's your armor class?
You're gonna make me look it up.
I am. Is it below 20? Yes.
14.
Cool.
Yes.
Isaac is going to grab you by the shirt and drag you bodily out, hurling you to the mud on the steps of the church.
No chance of me doing a dex, like, jump out of the way?
You can, not to get out, not to dodge the grip in the first place, but you can try to struggle out of it if you like.
Sure.
All right, so go ahead and give me an escape roll, which I believe is... Amy, you've done a lot of these. It's just your dexterity, right?
Dex acrobatics.
It can be dex acrobatics or strength athletics as the contested. The grapple itself would have to be strength athletics too.
All right. So strength athletics. What'd you get?
19. So plus.
Perfect. All right.
24.
He drags you about halfway down the church's length before you manage to slip and twist, causing your shirt to slide out of his human hand. What do you do?
I'm going to start running away from him. Like a scared chicken.
All right. Are you running outside or are you running further into the church?
No, I'm staying in the church. Claiming sanctuary every second.
There is no sanctuary here. And as that happens, he is going to yell that at you, and a ball of green flame is going to appear in his hand, his demonic hand. And you are going to take 7 points of fire damage.
Oh, good.
As he hurls flame across the church at you.
Spicy.
And your shirt catches fire.
I am almost half dead.
Okay. Why don't we get an initiative roll if this is what's going to happen?
Great.
Okay. Alright. So, anybody have above 20?
22.
Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget this
20
character is
total.
statted ridiculously.
What'd you say, Amy?
20 total. I rolled 19. My dex isn't that good. Right, this character has terrible stats except for charisma.
Brother Karas, what do you get?
Do it on one hand. 5.
Oh my god. Let me roll for the guards. Alright, so the guard. You know what? I'm
Leaving
gonna have
the
the
best
guards.
for last.
Use the guards.
Because you're probably going to have to save us.
Okay.
I don't know how, but I have
Uh,
spell slots, at least now.
Okay,
Cool,
so
I'm out.
so Zan runs back into the church, and as he does, Isaac hurls a mote of green flame at him that ignites his clothing. You can spend a move action to put that out if you'd like on your turn. Dawncaller, where were you? Did you leave the church? Shasta is basically in the doorway of the church. I assume that you were.
I wouldn't have let him be behind me. I would wanted to keep him in sight.
Okay.
So what I want to do is some variation of I want to basically persuade.
Okay.
I want to try and talk our way out of this. I'm going to kind of try and go up all bluff and hearty and be all like, man, you've got to learn how to talk to people. I've got some nervous fellas partying with me. Hey, you come in yelling and they freak out.
You can make me a
You could
persuasion
have just
roll.
said the Baron wanted to see us.
What's really funny is that I'm the one, I've got a +4 to my charisma rolls. And
In this one, my charisma is not bad.
That's good.
And that actually ends up being a natural 20.
A natural
I rolled
20?
an 18.
Okay. All right. As you say that, he looks at you sharply, but doesn't get a react quite yet. So, Shasta, what do you do?
Shasta's gonna put her hand, do a gesture of having her hands out, clearly showing she's like I said, let's be civil. Let's talk about this outside.
Between the guards that are inside and outside, you quickly do a count. There are a dozen. This is not a
Yes.
good fight.
No.
All right.
We just want to know what the business is.
Zan, what do you do?
Any chance I can hide under some
Yes, you can.
furniture?
Give me a stealth roll, and you might want to put yourself out first with your cunning action.
Yeah. There it is. Ooh. 23.
All right, so you put yourself out and roll underneath one of the pews, hiding yourself from view. Isaac looks up at you, Dawncaller. He's almost as tall as you are. And as he does so, it is not my business to know what the Baron wants. It is my business to enforce it. I gave you an option to come willingly or in chains. If you come willingly and bring that idiot, there will be no violence.
You just have to be polite about it, man. Otherwise, you put people's backs up.
I'm still on fire.
And they automatically try and make stuff tougher
Then
for you.
burn, scum.
Look, if you don't know what his business is, then that's all you had to say. We're more than happy to have a conversation with the Baron.
At this point, I'd say we're probably out of initiative, so
Yeah,
I'm going to
unless-
go over to help Zan up and kind of whisper, this isn't a fight we can win right now. Let's try and get out of here carefully.
Well,
Let's humor them, go along with it, and then let's see if we can get out. And who knows
Brother
what
Well,
Karis,
else?
what do you do, since you haven't had a chance to act?
My plan was to placate and plead, but these two have already done it.
Okay.
So I'll just nod in agreement.
Awesome.
All right.
And just what I was going to finish saying in Zan's ear was, and who knows, Baron's palace might be stuff to steal.
All right. So with that, do you you go with Isaac?
Yeah.
Wait, is he going to confiscate all of my pies? I still got like. Hang on, I'm going to find out how many I have.
If
Your
he takes
pies
them,
are
you don't
coming
have to
with
get rid
you.
of them.
It's true.
I still have 16 of these to get rid of. You sure you don't want some more?
The march to the Baron's mansion, or pardon me, the Burgomeister's mansion. Wait, they're the same thing. Never mind. Forgot. It's a Burgomeister's mansion that's lived in by a Baron. Because they couldn't make it easier.
Of course not.
Of course not. All right, so it's a short walk. The mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars from where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. The guards lead you there with Isaac, and he leads you through the halls. As you're looking around, this is... From where you come from, the mansion is fairly sparse, actually. It's not that large. In the main hallway, there are framed portraits that adorn the walls of this grand foyer, which feature a wide staircase with a sculpted railing. A long carpeted hall attached to the foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion and has several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. There are bundles of twigs heaped against the walls. As you move through, who has a perception of 17 or higher?
The passive perception?
Passive perception of, actually 16. Only 16.
Not Shasta.
I have a 16.
All right. As you are walking through, you will hear the chatter of female voices as you are walked by, and you will notice that there's a dining room off to the side where there is a chandelier of wrought iron with wax candles hanging above the polished wood dining table. The candles are lit even though it's not much past noon. Around the table are seated 8 women of various ages in comfortable high-backed chairs. Most of them wear faded clothes, drink tea and devour cake with greedy fingers, while a 9th woman, well-dressed and very pleased with herself, circles the table and talks excitedly about decorations for the impending festival. She is not unattractive, but looks tired. And if you have Twitch open right now, you can see what she looks like underneath Isaac. Boom. Okay. There we go. That's... He continues to lead you onward and takes you up the long stairway to the 2nd floor. There's more and more portraits on the walls here. He takes you to a room, opens the door, and leave your weapons out here in the hall.
This might take me a while.
I just
We have time.
shrug and lean my mace top down next to the door against the wall.
Yeah. I'll put down my maul, hand axes, and javelins.
Yeah.
He'll give Zan a quick pat down.
Okay.
Fair.
Let's see.
Zan, if you have something hidden, you still do.
Oh yeah, it's like in the sole of my boot, so he'd have to take my boot out and...
He got a 4 on his roll, so I'm pretty sure that you might have a knife still in its scabbard, and it's still there.
Yeah, maybe.
He pats you down and sends all of you in, the door swinging wide. And what you'll see inside is not an audience chamber, but instead a library. Floor-to-ceiling shelves line every wall of this windowless room. The number of books contained here are nothing short of astounding. A brass oil lamp sits atop a large desk in the center of the room. The chair behind the desk is comfortably padded and has the symbol of a roaring bear stitched into its back cushion. The only person in the room is a bear of a man who stands behind the chair holding an open book. His breastplate, rapier, silk tunic, and a greasy beard glisten in the lamplight. As you enter, you'll hear a low growl echoing on either side of his desk as two black mastiffs are curled down near his feet. As you enter, he looks up from his book and smiles brightly at you. Ah, you're the adventurers! Thank you so much for agreeing to meet me. Please, take a seat. He gestures at a pair of mismatched chairs. Actually, two pairs of mismatched chairs that have been placed at the other side of the desk. Do have a seat. Be my guests.
Are they just like wood chairs, or?
They are very, they're high-backed, red cushion chairs that speak of, they're old and a little musty, but they were once quite expensive.
Like, are they like dining room table style chairs with no arms? Or are they like wingback chairs? Like,
they are, they're dining room style chairs with no arms.
Okay, and is it so high backed that like if I sat, it would be up behind my head, or?
Just a little bit, yes.
Damn it.
I mean, for you, maybe it might not go that high.
You were trying to set up the pivot, weren't you?
Yep. I was going to turn around and sit on it improperly.
Well, they are mismatched, so you can grab the shortest one if you'd like.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. You'll be able to set your chin on top of it.
Okay.
All right. So, who's grabbing a seat?
Yep, Shasta will.
Yep.
I'm putting my cat in my lap too and eyeing the dogs nervously.
Oh, hush, Bruno, Bali.
Can I reach towards one of the dogs with just a, like, let it sniff? Like animal handling?
Make me an animal handling roll.
18.
18. One of the dogs will lean forward and sniff your hand, and it'll stop growling, but it doesn't really, it doesn't lick you, but it just gives you, and gives you kind of the okay, you're allowed to be here for now look. It eyes the rest of you and the cat warily.
Should I make an animal handling for the cat?
Yes, the cat can make an animal handling roll with disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage. Good.
Well, is the cat making the roll, or are you making the roll for the cat?
I'm making it for the cat.
So to keep the cat on your lap, or to keep the cat in the dog's good graces?
Yeah, pretty much just in my lap and not freaking out because
Okay.
Lap.
Yeah,
because lap.
Yeah, this is going to be with disadvantage because dog.
Yeah.
So Zan is trying to keep the cat calm. The cat is not trying to keep the dogs from attacking it.
Yes. I think in either case it's a disadvantage roll. So
In either case, this is hilarious, but yeah.
what'd you get, Zan?
9.
All right, the cat is going to squirm off your lap and run off into the mansion.
Oh, good.
No.
Sorry, I didn't know you'd have dogs.
Do you
Want me to go get it?
Oh, that's Isaac. Do be a dear. Go fetch the cat and make sure that nothing happens to it.
Yes, please. It pees a lot.
Sir, sire, are you sure you wouldn't want me? No, get out. It's fine. Thank you for bringing them here. Oh, that reminds me. It's a little early in the day, but I would be honored to offer each of you a drink.
What do you
Thank
sure.
you. I
It's
will
like
offer a
Melody.
little piece of jerky to the dog.
That's
My
one of those.
pouch.
Do you like dogs?
Oh, I like all animals.
You know what I love about dogs? They know their place. Much as a noble looks over the common folk, dogs are looked over by man and woman, I suppose. But dogs know their place in the world, and that's important. Guard, you bring me 4 cups of Red Crush.
Say they
Fine.
don't
A dog.
actually know what their place is. They have to be taught.
One of Don Collar's eyebrows will just raise.
I guess that depends on breeding.
And it depends on the master. A terrible master will have terrible temperament animals.
I suppose so.
You sure you don't want me to go get the cat?
If you treat them properly and well.
Oh, Isaac is actually quite good with animals. So, I did want to say, what do you think of the place? I imagine this is your first time being in a true manner of one of the Barovian nobility?
It is certainly lovely. I have never seen its like before.
Very
Thank
big.
you.
Yeah.
The stairs are the seats are so sturdy. They hold me and everything.
Are you all right? You're smoking slightly.
Things got a bit heated.
How strange. Well, smoke them if you've got them. Actually, that reminds me. And he will go behind the desk, open it up, and pull out a long-handled pipe, and will light it up and begin smoking while he talks to you. Yes. I was hoping that you could explain this to me, he says, reaching into the desk and pulling out a half-eaten dream pastry and tossing it onto his desk, where it splatters as the phyllo dough just erupts into flakes and crumbs.
Oh, I have more of them.
That's one of the ones that Zan had?
Yes, it is.
Oh. Huh.
Don Collar will just look at Zahn and just be like,
I
what did you guys
produce
do?
the basket. I have the basket. There's more. Did you like them?
How many more?
Hold on. 1, 2, 16.
You gave one of these to Isaac.
Well, he kind of confiscated them, honestly.
You were selling without a license, if I understand correctly. And he was...
I didn't take any money from him, so no, he confiscated them.
Yeah, there were no sales made.
No.
Can I get everybody here to make me a insight roll?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna ask.
All right. Anybody get above a 12?
14.
Okay.
19.
3?
6.
All right.
1.
Brother Karas and Don Collar, the tone in the room is actually quite pleasant when you enter. When Zan talks over him, however, there's a sudden chill in the room and a narrowing of the eyes that risks turning violent.
I will just slap a hand over Zan's mouth.
Some breeding. And with that, actually, the room seems to cool off a little bit. Actually, pardon me, it seems to heat up a little bit. I don't know. It seems to warm a little.
The chill fades.
The chill fades from the room. There we go. These pastries took Isaac out of commission for almost 20 hours, if I'm to be believed.
Wow.
What?
And I understand that there are more in there. Now, Isaac is quite a strong man. In fact, one of the strongest. That's why he's my right-hand man. Can you imagine the fun these could create at the festival? Well, you can let him speak.
I will take my hand off then.
So I will be purchasing these 16, and we'll be commissioning you for another 3 dozen minimum. Can you procure these within the next 3 days?
My bakery burnt down. That's why I've been smoking recently.
You can make me a deception roll.
It's probably not helped by Don Collar looking at him very puzzled and just like, what?
What'd you
And
get?
Shasta's just going
19? Oh, your friend's, Actually, he looks at you. Oh. Well, that's all right. I can provide you with a bakery to use. The town baker will be happy to let you have run of his shop.
Do you have my herb bushes that were outside of the bakery?
Your excuse me? Fir bushes?
No, herbs. I use very specific herbs.
Yeah.
Well, we do.
There's a secret ingredient that only Zan knows.
It's pretty spicy.
Dawncaller will look at Shashi like, why are you helping him dig the hole?
Are you saying that there is absolutely no way you can cater to my desire for more of these pastries?
Oh, I can try. I mean, I can't guarantee they'll be as spicy as these ones, but they'll be nice, I guess. I mean, I can't make promises, but hey, how about if I give them to you at a deep discount? Like, so deep.
A discount? Do I look like some type of penniless wretch? I can afford any flagrancy. I can afford any price that you would ask for these 16 and then some. Go ahead. Name your price.
How about 40 gold? 40 gold.
40 gold?
Yeah.
Pathetic.
But, more than
That was 40 gold each.
Well, that's a little too much, but that's... What do I look like, an idiot?
No, I mean...
Which is why we can give a discount? Shas is trying to help.
I meant 40 gold was going to be your discount.
Down from what?
From... I don't know, what's a reasonable price of pies around here? You know, I was trying to sell them at, I'll say, 3 gold each. So, let's see, 40 gold. You want it? Hang on, carry the 7.
You'd owe him gold then.
What? Well, no, he's springing for all the ingredients. I think I can handle...
And all of these are as potent?
These ones?
Yes.
Oh, you should try one. Or
No, I shan't partake. I have so much planning to do. But
That's
here,
true.
he reaches into his desk and counts out...
Incredibly busy man.
He counts out 50 gold pieces on his desk and then just rolls them off the desk onto the floor toward you.
Oh.
That should be enough of a payment for you.
That's pretty good. I'll go and start snatching up gold.
Is that sufficient?
So
This is like 50. Wow, I get a bonus and everything. I guess you'll want them right away.
Actually, you're adventurers, if I'm not mistaken, correct? You had weapons on you. Because you've been... Where are your weapons, anyway?
we were
Isaac made us leave him in the hall.
Yeah, check them.
Well... I assume that you're quite good at violence and instilling fear in some.
No, I'm just a former baker.
Unfortunate, I do have a quest that I want to put you on. I suppose that having a baker along could be good, but the other 3 of you...
You shouldn't underestimate a baker.
I brought my own cutlery.
Now, the 4 of you, as a whole, you did travel here, which means you have some sense of survival. Well, presently, I have a festival coming in just a scant number of days, and I have less wine than days to hand out.
Well, that's interesting because we were actually on our way to the winery as our next stop.
Of course you are, because I'm paying you to go there.
Well, it looks like our business and your business align.
Something has stopped the wine from being produced. I want you to go fix it. If you do, you shall be rewarded handsomely for the trouble.
We would be happy to be of service to a man as honorable as yourself. Especially for such a glorious festival.
I will allow you to bring a cart with you with some horses. Bring them back intact, and I will give you a premium of 10 gold pieces per cask that you return.
All right, so you have an idea of how many were supposed to be provided?
I want as many as you can fit in the cart. I think I don't know such matters.
Nope, that's fine. We can inquire with your... whoever would be the one who handles that matter.
You'll find someone. As well, if there were bandits or Vistani... If you find that this has led to the Vistani camp outside of Volaki, I will pay you 100 gold pieces per head you return.
Okay, noted.
We will keep that in mind.
If you bring back the head of their leader, prove that he has caused the problem. Maybe more.
Okay. Did you want us to bring back bandit heads as well if it's bandits?
Oh, yes, of course. If it's just regular bandits, I will give you a premium as well. What did I say? 100 gold? For just bandits, 50. 50 sounds acceptable.
How much did he say per cask? Was it 50 gold?
10.
It was 10 gold per cask.
10, okay.
And a cask is about, basically it's a barrel of wine. So
Yeah.
a cart can probably fit between 20 and 30.
Okay.
Now this is desperate. You must return with the wine within 2 nights' time.
Well, understood. We can leave immediately once we have the preparations necessary.
Are you staying at the inn?
Yes.
We are.
Then I will make certain that the innkeeper will hold your room for you.
That's most
you.
generous. We appreciate it.
The charge will, of course, be handled by the city for your good works.
Of course. Thank you.
It's the least I could do to help you, because you are making this happen. We are keeping the devil at bay with goodwill.
I understand it's going to be a marvelous festival.
All will be well, my friends. All will be well.
Can I roll an insight on this guy?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Anybody
Yeah.
else who wants to, go ahead.
That dice has failed me again.
I don't need to
Remember-
roll to know he's in that bar.
Yep. You guys
That's
all
17.
have it.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's any idea like he seems to have an ulterior motive, but I sure failed that roll.
18.
Okay, so for those of you two, so Don Collar and Brother Karas, he is definitely he's an arrogant noble. First of all, you'll get that sense almost immediately. You had that the moment you walked in the room. He 100% believes whenever he is smiling in whatever he's thinking. If he is happy, he believes it. He honestly thinks that everything is going to be well. He thinks that he's a nut. That's what you get out of that role. He's a nut, and it's best just to play along until you're out of his sight.
Yep. Which was why I was like, yeah, you know what? No, you can pay the inn.
No,
Sure.
this is why Shasta's just
I'll
like,
tell the innkeeper. Make sure to take
Get
his
us out.
gold.
His ego is definitely brittle enough. He's willing to throw gold around like nothing. You've seen the Barovian peasantry and how poor they are, and yet this man's willing to pay a farmer's wages for a month for a pastry just because he can.
It's insane.
Looking around this room as well, some of the tomes in here, the number of books in this library is obscene.
Anything
How many of them-
interesting?
You can go ahead and make you can make me a perception roll.
Why not?
Let's
14.
see. 14. You'll see that there are quite a few interesting books on the walls there. One moment. There's actually a list I can use.
Oh, okay.
I just got to remember where the hell it is because this book has a lot of lists. Nope, that's the epilogue. Let's see. I think it's in... lore. You will see the life and times of Hugo Montanova. You will see, which is something that's really not great. Where the hell are the books?
Can you remind me how much you said for bandits per head?
I said 25
50.
or 50. 50?
50? Yeah. And then it was 100
100
for
for the
Vistani.
Vistani.
Of course it was.
100 for Vistani, half for bandit.
Yeah.
And a special price if you find a way to indict the
The head of the Vistani.
Yeah, I just want notes for what exactly he wants us, is he's trying to get us to do.
Which
Eh,
I'm not going to
Reasons
say
to
it,
hate
but we're
him
not
more.
doing that in any
Oh,
way,
we're-
shape, or form because they've been helpful.
Okay,
course not.
so
but this is one more thing to damn this guy.
okay, so a random table list in chapter 4. I found it. It just took a Google search. Um, come on. Let's see. Oh, here. No. Mangy cat. Okay. Oh, I forgot that some of these things existed. Oh, Ravenloft Castle's weird. Got some great stuff.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know in what way, but I'm sure it will haunt us.
All right. So you will see the following books as you're looking around. There is Vizzini's Guide to Fine Wines. There is the Truth of the Crimson Order. There is the Oath Celestial. There is Psalms of the Morning Lord, as well. There's another book called Psalms of the the hell's the Night Goddess? Oh God, my brain. The Morning Lord and the Night Mother, I believe. The biography of King Barov, and a book on military strategy by a guy named Sunny Zhu.
Cool.
Interesting books all around.
Yeah. It's quite the collection.
Do you like it?
I do.
You are literate.
Of course.
Yes, it is quite a collection, isn't it?
Well, which one's your favorite?
Oh, I couldn't pick. I've read them all.
Oh, impressive.
Well, except for this shelf. When he gestures at bookshop on the right. Just a mixture of titles. I'm working my way through this one, but the rest have been voraciously devoured.
A good book will do that.
Oh, yes. What about yourself? You're a reader?
I am, though I have to admit I haven't encountered in many of these. We're not local.
Someone of your breeding probably doesn't have access to books such as these. I imagine that this would be quite revelatory for you. Tell you what, pick any book off of the shelves there. He gestures to his left. And you may borrow it during your service with me. If it's damaged, it will count as your portion of the wealth.
I see. He'll go take a look and see what there is on that shelf.
Sure.
Very curious.
That's all the ones that
pictures?
Of course not.
Only the artistic representations of the male and female form there. He gestures at a large backed book.
Oh, no.
It's probably a human anatomy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
Which one of those books sounded interesting to you?
She's actually curious about the Psalms of the... Oh, no. The one about King Barov?
Sure. Yeah, you can... an excellent book! Funny that you would mention that. Perhaps that will aid you in our mutual ends? Seeing as the man's son has given this country no end of problems.
Perhaps it'll give me some insight.
Of course it will. Well, you best be off. I have wine that needs getting.
Exactly. We'll be off, grab our things, and head out on that right away.
Where
at the door.
Should we...
Your cat, sir. Isaac deposits the cat in your lap once more, Zan.
Oh. He's still got all his limbs.
Shasta, what were you saying?
Oh, where will we find the cart and our horses?
Someone will bring it for you. It'll be outside.
All right.
Understood. Thank you.
Best of luck, and don't come back without the wine. All will be well, friends. All will be well. Please enjoy yourselves on your adventure, but don't come back without the wine.
Noted.
Understood.
Thank you.
We'll be back soon.
Not return without the wine.
This one has it. All right, and with that, you will head back out into the hall. Isaac will depart immediately upon handing you your cat back, Zan, and one of the guards will stand in the hallway. Your belongings are here. They have not been touched. Please take what you need.
Thank you.
You take what belongs to you, I suppose. I am Arvin. I will show you to the cart that has been brought outside.
Thank you.
Did I leave all my pies?
Yes, you did. He bought them all, if you remember.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous of why he wants them, but
Because they're delicious.
Because they're delicious, and it's
I
great
made them myself.
to drug the constituency.
And so, how much gold did Zan get from that?
50 gold from the...
Yep, alrighty.
That's quite a bit of gold.
While Arvin leads us towards this cart, I want to lean in and not overly loudly go, Arvin, do you know what happened to Isaac after he ate the pie that rendered him so disagreeable?
No, sir. He was not disagreeable. He was actually quite agreeable. It appears that it had the effect of a full night's drinking. He slept dreamlessly, or maybe dreamfully. He woke up in quite a good mood.
All of you.
That is beneficial to know. Thank you, Arvin. And I pat him on the shoulder.
Are we able to hear this?
Oh yeah,
Probably we're close enough. Okay.
I think he's stage whispering this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Just making sure.
All right. So he leads you down the hall, and as you are heading down the stairwell, you will hear the sound of women talking loudly again. All of you will hear it this time. And as your boots hit the foyer's floor, a woman will step out into the hall. The one that you recognize as being in charge of the group before Brother Kairos and Don Collar. And she will lean out into the hall and smile, actually quite tiredly, but with a great degree of warmth. I imagine you are here to speak to my husband. You are the ones who will bring the wine, I've heard.
Madam, we have already spoken, and it is thus that we now embark.
Well, I am the lady of the house. If you need anything at all for your trip, water skins or anything like that, please, I will have my servants fetch them for you.
Thank you. I believe
I'd offer you wine, but aside from a few meager helpings, we are quite bare.
It's
not a problem.
If your kindness is appreciated, and we have journeyed far to come here, and the winery is more than a day away. Perhaps provisions for the road would be greatly appreciated.
Delma, a maid, scuttles out into the hall, dressed in faded but clean black and white maid's uniform with a long skirt. Can you bring several loaves of bread and 8 water skins? That should be enough for 2 days. You'll be able to restock at some of the streams. Yes, ma'am. She goes, and a moment later we'll come back with 2 wrapped loaves of a deep black rye bread. As far as I understand, these keep better on the road. It's a bit too bitter for me, but I hear that outsiders care for strong bread and strong beer.
Thank you. This is certainly not incorrect.
Well, best of luck to you.
And thank you,
Thank
madam.
you.
And may we return to bring joy to the festival.
I do hope so. If you excuse me, I have to continue. Weaving decorations for the festival.
A noble and worthy pursuit. Good day to you, madam.
accommodate you. All right, ladies, she says to the room as she returns. Back to work? Those children's costumes are not going to make themselves, and we must finish the Wicker Sun before the festival day.
Festival mouth costumes? Just Dakaris.
Glancing around as you're heading outside of the room and outside of the manor, you will glance down and see those piles of sticks. One of them is actually a bit different than the others. It's the top half of a human body that's been made into effigy. Looks like they're midway through completing it. You're not sure who they're going to burn in, but seeing the shape and the rough paint job that they've applied to it, you're getting the sense of who it's probably supposed to represent.
Yeah.
Okay. By the time you head outside, it's already raining.
So, our initial plan was to go to Kresk with the siblings and then continue from there to the winery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was basically up and then back down.
We now have a cart. That would make our trip faster, right? We can still do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just drop them off.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I figured we should grab the stuff, get back to the inn, grab the stuff we left there of ours, like our packs.
Yeah.
And grab those two and say, here's our chance to get you out.
Yeah. You're like, the Baron has enabled this. Might as well make advantage
I want to
of it.
have a word with the innkeep of basically, hey, the Baron also has asked us to check out the winery. He's going to pay you to hold on to our rooms. Charge him for the full price so that you're not paying us by giving us free rooms. Like, so we'll do both jobs at the same time.
Might as well, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you are going from Vallaki to...
I believe it follows the road to the west, and then its Kresk is like at the corner, and then the road just goes straight down, I think.
Yeah, I'm just going to check the travel times for you real quick.
Yeah. Because I think our original estimates were based on foot. I think.
So that is the old Svalich Road. So you're at Wallaki, and that is the Toltenka Pass. To Lake Zarovich. Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's like right there. See, it's 5 minutes to Lake Zarovich. To the Luna River crossing. Where's the Luna River?
I believe that one is to the southwest.
Okay, so the Luna River crossing, that's an hour? Jesus. Oh, yeah, I guess that's decently far. Okay, so from the Luna River to Kresk, to the Raven River crossing, there is... How is that an hour and that an hour? That doesn't make any sense.
Quality of the road.
Yeah, quality of the road.
Maybe.
Whatever risks there might be there as well.
So from the Luna River Raven River crossing to...
Fewer bandits?
To Kresk. Yes. So it looks like you can probably make it to Kresk in about, if you're lucky, probably about 2 or 3 hours with the cart.
Yeah, because I think we were originally planning on going by foot, aren't we?
Yeah.
So this will significantly speed things up. So.
Yep. So long as the travel goes okay.
Fingers crossed.
As you go into the inn, you go and tell this to the bartender to charge you full price. And as you're inside there, you will hear a lovely violin being played at the front of the room by Rictavio, that circus performer who you'd seen earlier in the day, and who Zan met personally the night before. As you're inside talking to the barkeep, to the tavern owner, he'll lean across the bar as Zan enters the building and turns to Dawncaller. Your friend seems different today. This is Mr. Martinkov, the man who you met last night.
The innkeeper,
friendly...
right, who was also
the innkeeper who basically gave you a side room because he was transforming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, he did not want to stay the way he was, and
Erwin. his name's Erwin.
We spoke with the priest.
Now, is he the one who actually told us the priest could potentially help?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
He's the only one we talked to about.
And we would not have come up with that ourselves, I don't think, because we didn't know about it.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the innkeep.
Yeah, okay.
The priest came in for breakfast or something, and he was like, "You should go talk to those 4 idiots. You might be able to help them."
Yep, that's what happened.
There we go.
It's unfortunate, though, that he gave up such a good gift. Perhaps he was not a righteous man.
Where a gift to one person may be a burden to another.
Men of weak constitution. I will hold your rooms for you, and I will be sure to charge full price.
Hey.
Go well.
Thank you.
You gather your belongings, and it's pretty easy to get everything done. The innkeeper hands you some food as you're heading out as well, so you're going to be overstocked with several apples and some dry pies.
Well, you never know. Perhaps we'll encounter someone who needs some food.
As you head outside, you can see that Arvin the guard has indeed brought a pair of horses and the cart. And you are grabbing Isaac and
Irene.
Oh, pardon me, not Isaac. Ismark and
Yeah.
Irina.
Yeah, I was going to tell them what was going on, and that this was probably their best chance to get out of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
Pam.
I'm happy to go with you, my friends. We should probably get to Kresk as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're going now.
Irina also seems very eager to leave. And as you head
That's
outside,
very fair.
It may be best for you to ride in the back of the cart with the goods. Then you can duck down should anyone be too observant.
Now, is this a cart that's covered, or is it open?
it's an open wagon.
Okay, so they can just lie down, I guess, kind of.
I'll keep my head
figured
up as
we
well.
could drop our packs on them or something to hide them.
Yeah, and we have bedrolls and things like that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I will march out front with you just to be safe, in case any bandits come. But perhaps I'll wait till we leave the city walls.
Exactly.
As you head outside, it's raining. And actually, there's nothing to say that you can't go grab a tarp real quick from somewhere, or borrow one from the inn, or purchase one.
Yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be down 3 silver coins for
Sure,
that.
I will mark that down because
But you can get a waxed tarp to throw on back, which will buffet the rain off of it, and enough to keep your goods dry.
Mm-hmm.
As you leave, the violin music fades into the background. And Brother Karis, Don Collar, you'll notice that Rictavio, the strange man with a stranger accent, is keeping an eye on you as he plays. Do you head outside?
Yeah.
yeah, Shasta wants to get out of here as fast as possible, so she's probably already at the cart.
As you head outside, you hear the sound of hoofbeats approaching. A handsome man, dressed in finery, rides up to you. His hair dangling in his face from where the rain has pulled it away from the ponytail at the base of his neck.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was hoping to meet the people that have been causing such a stir.
The stir?
No one here is causing a stir.
No, you're the talk of town. In several towns, as far as I understand.
Well, that was definitely not our intention. We're just passing through.
Well, that's too bad. It's the most excitement some of these people have had in a long time.
Really? I thought the festival was coming.
Let's, I think we can be frank about that. It's, the same old, he says in a hushed tone.
Oh no, how dare you.
Pardon me. My name, I'm Lord Vasily von Holst. Vasily von Holst.
Ah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
What can we do for you?
I wanted to thank you.
What for?
I've heard about what happened at the coffin maker's shop. I paid the coffin maker to hold some goods that I was hoping to supply to the festival for a bit of a profit. To undermine the Baron. It was supposed to be salted meats, but my merchant caravan was beset upon near the gates of Barovia about a week ago. We thought that everything was fine, but apparently my cured meats were replaced with monsters. I thank you for getting rid of them. That would have ruined my name had such a thing come to fruition.
I see.
Insight?
Insight?
Yeah,
please.
that
Insight,
was-
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, please.
Oh, I rolled a 4 on a different dice.
21.
21?
So that's a 6.
21.
21? He seems to be very legit.
Is that to them or to me with my 6?
I mean, look how pouty and handsome he is. It's kind of hard not to just look at those cheekbones. Even if it's not like that, it's kind of, wow, this guy looks good. You're honestly getting so much rain in your ears, Shasta, that it's kind of hard for you to pay attention.
I need a better hood.
Zan, what are you thinking about?
I rolled a 7, so I'm like thinking of ways to make pastry that I have no idea how to make.
Long and short of it is, I know that you just recently had a meeting with the Baron. I was wondering...
This news travels fast.
I saw you leaving his house.
No, you're not supposed to spy on people.
It's public domain. You were walking out in the middle of town.
I'm joking.
And so am I. If you'd like me to spy on you, I'm sure that we could have that arranged.
I'll pass on that one.
Your loss.
Tends to be inconvenient when there's stalkers.
Perhaps we'll have dinner sometime. Maybe I can convince you then. But I'm actually more interested in your opinions of your little encounter with the Baron. Candidly, none of his guards are around at the moment. And he hardly holds my word in high esteem.
Whose word does he hold in high esteem?
I think his own, and that's all, and that's the problem. He's a bit of a tyrant.
He seemed like a very cheerful fellow.
The mad usually are. I was wondering whether or not when you return. I imagine that you're traveling a bit of a ways, probably to procure...
Wine.
Wine.
I've heard there's a bit of a shortage.
Mm-hmm. You probably felt it yourself if you drank it all.
I don't drink terribly often, but my stockpile has been going a bit low.
And there's always the good stuff that goes first.
I would like to invite you. Do you think you'll be back before the festival?
That's the plan. Or we don't get paid.
Well, a Lady Watcher.
It's a little worse than that.
Lady Watcher at Watcher House is having me for dinner in 2 nights. If you're back by then, I would greatly appreciate you accompanying me. Perhaps we can talk about a mutually beneficial arrangement that would see this town better off.
I, for one, would love to accompany you to dinner.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, I do apologize again for the misunderstanding with the coffin maker. And
have you taken steps to make things right with the man himself?
Thankfully, I'm glad you let him go. You didn't... The thought that he could have been killed because I didn't have my own goods checked thoroughly enough after the attack. Thank you. He's being well taken care of. He shouldn't have to work for at least a few more weeks from the money I've managed to provide for him, so he should have some time to relax and hopefully get over the trauma.
This is good.
At the very
This is
least, he's
very good.
getting old. He should probably look at taking an apprentice.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems
Where-
to do good work, at least. from what we
Where are
saw.
you headed next? You're going to the Wizard of Wines?
Well, I mean, we're going to the winery. I believe that's the name.
It's the only winery we have, unfortunately.
Then
aside
yes,
from-
that's where we're going.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck. When you come back, just ask around for me. I'm often here.
Okay.
And do be careful. The roads are particularly vicious as the day goes on. But during the day, I think you'll probably be fine. As long as you make haste.
Thank you for your words of caution. And if we may
Thank you.
pass some back, do not eat the pies.
Do not eat them. Just don't.
Just don't.
Don't
I haven't even made them yet.
No, the ones that the Baron bought.
Do
Don't eat
not eat either the pies that the Baron just purchased or the pies that Zan may make in the future.
Agreed.
They're going to be great
For different reasons.
once I figure out how to cook them.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm not much of a pie eater anyway. I'm afraid it would go directly to my figure, he says, touching his cummerbund gingerly with his fingers. I'll keep that in mind. Oh. May the gods shine down upon you, and may you have a safe travel. I'll see you again soon.
May your fires burn bright.
Dawncaller.
What time is it now?
Right now, it's really hard to tell because of how black it is outside. Just the sun is completely obscured by cloud and rain, but just rough counting in your head, you think it's probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay. I guess on that note, should we go at this time or should we go first thing in the morning?
We probably should go, but perhaps we can stop at Kresk,
I agree
Alright.
with this proposal.
Yeah.
We night in Crest.
because then we get out of here. We're on our way.
All right. Let's go, and we're not stopping because we don't
Yeah.
have much time to get through.
Exactly.
Alright.
And it sounded like it would only take a couple hours to get there. So if it's not even 3, hopefully we'll get there before like 6.
All right.
And how many eggs do you think I need to put in pies?
Oh my gosh.
So
Do you
let's
know
see.
how pies work?
They're delicious. And
How
you
many
pay for
pies
them.
are you making?
Alright. Didn't he want for like 5 dozen?
I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't paying
Or-
attention to that part.
Well, he paid me 50, so he probably wants like 50 of them.
0 eggs, because you shouldn't make the pies, because it is evil.
50 eggs.
Yeah, I
Got it.
mean,
Now I just need to figure out where to get 50 eggs from.
see, I have a distinct feeling that you will not be able to replicate the pies because you are not, in fact, a hag, and not completely evil and trying to
Facts.
kill people.
I-
So
They were delicious.
Let's get out of this town
Yeah.
before we start discussing shit.
Jess is already in the like.
Who is driving the cart?
Who's good at handling animals and
I'm okay at it.
yeah.
Excellent. I will ride in the position.
I don't think any of the
traditionally called
horses want me to
shotgun.
ride them anyways.
I mean, I only own a cat. I mean, I can probably make a horse do things. They're kind of the same. They have 4 legs and a tail.
All right. Go ahead and make me a handle animal roll, Zan.
22.
22. True to form, Zan actually handles the cart better than you've seen a man handle a cart in many, many years. He keeps the ponies pulling quickly and manages to avoid most of the ruts in the road, making a fairly seamless ride. In fact, the first hour and a half of the trip, you will cross over a pair of rivers, making very, very solid time. But it's there as you're crossing over the Raven River, as a sign proclaims, over a well-worn and weathered stone bridge, that in the center of the road, you will find a corpse.
Ah. Yikes.
Now, the corpse in front of you is fairly innocuous. It's looks like a woman. It stinks though, and even as the cart pulls near, you can smell the death on the air.
Important question. When you say it's a corpse, it's lying down on the road. It's not standing.
Nope, it's splayed across the middle of the far end of the bridge. Splayed across the ground. It's back facing you. It has long straw-colored hair spilling down its back underneath a kerchief. The clothing is soaked, and you'll actually see bits of flesh stuck inside of the hair. It's laying face down.
Divine sense, is it undead?
It is not.
My thought is that Dawncolor's probably sitting in the back of the wagon because she's not going to force a horse to carry her. Yep. So she'll hop down with her maul ready and go check it.
Shasta will ready her longbow and look around for any dangers.
All right. Go ahead and make me a perception roll.
Now, my divine sense, it would, if there's any undead or fiends or
21,
the other one in
21?
the area, I would pick those up too within a certain radius.
Absolutely.
Not completely obscured. Ooh, you said perception, so 23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in a long while, when you've looked around, there's nothing in your divine sight. Dawncaller, as you approach, do you roll the corpse over?
Yeah.
It's a young girl, maybe 16. It's hard to tell. The lower half of her jaw has been ripped completely off, fangs bisecting her upper lip, her eyes rolled back in her head. Large portions of her torso have been torn open, removed entirely by the fangs of hungry wolves. But they haven't
But she
devoured
has
them.
fangs?
She does not have fangs. No, she has broken teeth that are jutting through her torn upper lip. The bottom half of her jaw has been completely ripped away, revealing a lolling tongue that's been half eaten. That's all.
All right.
Rain...
I'll pick her up by an arm and a leg and pull her to the side of the road and...
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. There's not much we can do for her now.
Yeah, I will say a small prayer, like under my breath. It's not showy.
Okay.
Do you have any fire spells to cremate her?
So that she doesn't rise.
Call down divine fire upon her.
All right. You will ignite the corpse. It burns beneath the light of Brig. And you feel a sense of accomplishment as you spread her ashes to the wind, or do you collect them?
I don't think I feel a sense of accomplishment about anything in this situation. I think I feel a sense
I
of...
will collect them into a small sack, just in case perhaps she's from Kresk.
Yeah.
Then I can at least return it if somebody says something. Otherwise, I'll hand it over to their church.
Sounds
to be
good.
buried.
Was there any identifying, like, jewelry or something that wouldn't have burned?
She's wearing no jewelry to speak of.
Okay.
She's dressed very in threadbare stitched clothing like a peasant.
Okay. Just if there was any sort of insignia or something, rings, but fine. Cool.
And I will hop back
carry
in the
on.
cart so we can keep going.
Yep.
All right. You continue onward. And as you do, looking around, you will see that through the mist, there's a black bird circling overhead.
Does it look like a raven?
It does look like a raven. And as you look at it, when it feels your eyes upon it, it flies away. But a few minutes later, you'll see it still circling, keeping just out of your range of your bows. It seems to be following you, but keeping its distance.
Well, not much we can do about that.
All right. And you will find yourselves soon at the gates of Kresk. That was a remarkably light day for you guys. Good job.
Well, in the morning we dealt with vampires, so it's been a long day overall.
That's true.
True.
6 of them.
Yeah, like, it's been exhausting.
You've been up for it. Just one moment while I get to Kresk, because it's a very short chapter in the book, which is easy to skip over.
Fair.
Let's see, the Stony Caves, Ravenloft Castle. Nope. There we go.
So-
I hope that short chapter is just a single sentence that says, everything's fine.
Everything's
And
fine.
everything was
which-
fine.
Question: did we actually end up getting our weapons silvered?
I
Yes, you
believe
did.
we did, yes. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, I just didn't write it down then.
All right, so you'll make it to a road junction. Now, the road branches north and climbs a rocky escarpment, that is, ending in a gatehouse built into a 20-foot tall high wall of stone, reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dust mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you will see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin, white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have grown accustomed. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that leads from the walled settlement up into the abbey. All right. Do you continue forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up the winding trail, you'll find yourself at a large gatehouse, with a pair of sharp roofs coming on each side. The air grows colder as you approach the walled settlement. The 2 square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway, to which a set of 12-foot tall, iron-bound wooden doors lay. Carved into the arch above the door is a name, Kresk.
Well, I think we found the right place.
The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high, and atop the parapet you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They watch you nervously.
Shasta will wave in whatever motion seems to be a non-threatening approximation.
Okay. So, one of the guards will call down to you. Who goes there?
Travelers. We were looking to stop on our way to the winery. We have business there.
Hold a moment.
All right.
You hear shuffling and motion behind the gate. A few moments later, a man will climb the battlements and look down on you. So to describe him, he is... Did they give me a photo? I think they gave me a photo. Nope, that's the Abbey. I don't care about that. He's a stocky man with deep browned skin, completely bald with shock white eyebrows and a white beard that clings to his lower jaw, nice and full. He looks like a man who can handle himself in a bar brawl. He looks down at you. Hello. You have
Hello?
come. This is Kresk. This is my city. I am Dmitry Kreskov,
Greetings.
the burgomaster. Greetings. What brings you here?
Shasta
We
will-
see. Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
Shasta's looking over at the siblings and then kind of just like, someone want to say this?
I was.
As we said, we're going to the winery and we hope to break our stop here. so that we're not traveling at night.
What was Brother Kara saying?
Basically that. That's why I just shut up.
Okay.
Dawn Caller probably also has the most booming voice to get up there.
This is true.
I figure I don't want to blow anybody's headphones though, because I'm so close to the mic.
Shasta's clearly used to yelling horrible, like, oaths of vengeance at things, so her voice does carry.
Travelers who come here. What brings you to my city? The winery only.
We have heard that it is a place
As
of
for
refuge.
going to the winery,
Shasta's looking at the siblings like, do you want to say it? It's your business.
God damn it, Ismark. Sorry, I just rolled his persuasion roll.
Oh, man.
Ismark will stand up and climb out of the cart. Greetings, I am Ismark Kolyanovich, and I and my sister have come here to seek shelter from the devil. From the devil, you say? He seeks my sister. As another burgomaster, I ask for your aid. Please. If there's any nobility left in this land, we must band together against the darkness. It is a tall order.
Just looks at him.
I have no interest in harboring the devil's allies, but I equally do not wish to draw his wrath. I'm afraid I must deny your request. This village is all that I have. I will not bring down further tragedy.
Brother
Karas?
Perhaps there is a means by which we can each meet our goals. You say that you do not wish to draw the devil's wrath, and to this we are sympathetic. But, as my young friend expressed, in times of darkness, lights burn brighter together. And perhaps there is some way where we can add our light to yours, and thus you can receive from us this small spark.
Make me a persuasion roll.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Do it!
17.
17? He'll look down upon you. I cannot bring allies or enemies of Strahd into my village.
And can
But
Shasta...
But I can bring in those who have done me a service. I'm sure by now, he looks down at your cart, you have determined that there is a bit of a shortage.
Oh boy, everyone needs to drink in this land.
You need to do something to survive. Can I get anybody who's interested in paying attention to this man can make me an insight roll?
Absolutely.
Yep. 24.
Oh God. Yes.
Nat 20.
Oh
10?
God. 10? No, not so much.
Shasta's way too confused by what the hell Ismark was trying to say. Like, what the hell are you going on about nobility banding together? That's not... What? What kind of argument is that?
What'd you
She's
get?
kind of
12.
linked to herself.
All of you except for Shasta, who's just kind of dumbfounded, are going to notice that there's a bit of hesitancy to the way that the burgomaster is speaking. In fact, you have been around loss enough in your lives, the three of you, that you will easily notice a man trying to hide being distraught. In fact, the way that his words seem to linger on tragedy leads you to believe that something bad has happened in this town very recently, and that he is still recovering from it. His eyes are actually slightly puffy and bloodshot, which you can see even from this range, and you would not put off the idea that he perhaps was weeping shortly before he was called up to the wall. You already have a cart. I can provide you with another. so that you are not held out. Go to the winery. It is not far from here. Procure wine and bring it back, and I guarantee that you will sleep comfortably behind Kresk's walls.
It's still with the assumption that there actually is wine to be collected.
If there is a lack of wine, then you have to prioritize. I imagine you are coming from Valaki?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
We cannot pay much, but our number need it far more than some flagrant festival of nothingness.
Drinking your sorrows away doesn't much help either.
And neither does pouring it down your gullet and hoping for evil to go away.
That I can agree on.
At least drinking in honesty is worthwhile.
I
As you
find
have said, you cannot pay much. But we do not ask for gold. We ask for kindness.
Wait
in exchange for
a minute.
kindness.
Wait, who said
Zen.
anything about not wanting gold?
Zen.
Then shut
What?
up.
Okay,
Shut
hang
up.
on. The horses
The
are
gold
acting
is
up.
going to be dealt with at the other place, okay? We got that.
Fine.
Look,
Oh.
we ask for your assistance in bringing light to those who are facing dark times. I'm sure this is something you can relate to in this land.
Yes. We will light each
Okay.
other's fires when you bring back the wine. Bring them a cart. In good faith, I will have rooms set aside for you. There are 6 of your number.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
We- And Shasta's just thinking like, I have no spells left. I'm exhausted. We need rest. I want to get inside these walls now. But she's like,
You have no
Look.
spells left at all?
no, I have 3 spell slots. I've used them all in the morning to deal with vampires. Yeah, she needs rest. So,
I'm half-
8 hours.
I'm half dead.
So,
So you could have short rested on the trip.
yeah, that won't refresh my spell slots.
No, but it'll
or-
heal Zan.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I will only be able to use my bow and my sword, so. I've used my divine. Channel divinity, because I only get one of those right now at level 3. And I have used all 3 of my spell slots for. So she wants in, or she wants to rest, or somewhere to sleep that's safe for 8 hours.
All right. Well, they will bring
And she will
out...
communicate that to the rest.
Well, we don't have much option.
Mm,
What are you gonna do? Storm their gates?
no. But if we can persuade them that we require the rest and the before we can actually do the service, perhaps that would change their minds.
Yeah, but then we don't need to do the service for them, do we? Which is what they're
Yes.
gonna think.
However,
The gates will open, and a pair of guards will lead out another wagon with a draft horse.
but the thing is that it's the siblings that need to stay and need the Tatsate to be actually sheltered for the long term. We don't need that. If we can persuade them to let us rest, then go do this so that they will allow the siblings to stay.
The guards will hand the reins over to Brother Karas, who's right out front.
Mhm.
And we'll turn back to the gate.
Were you going to
which
say
shuts.
something?
Yeah, I think us having to do this first is a consequence of Ismark biffing of the initial persuasion roll. Also,
I
your
know.
channel divinity at least should be back if we short rested.
Oh,
I mean,
is
it's
it?
not
Okay.
much, but it's better than nothing.
Okay. It'll help a little bit.
Yeah, check, because I think, at least for clerics,
know.
channel divinity refreshes with short or long.
Okay. I still not super used to that part. But just
Also, they have no reason to welcome you inside, so
Oh, I know. But
Yeah.
they want us to do this now.
you asked for something first, though.
I know. And now they're asking us to do something. So we can counter argue that, hey, we can do this for you.
Yeah, I think it's probably not that big of a deal to them, is what they're going to want for
Yeah,
us
so
to
if she
get
can-
anything from them.
Yeah, that's
so.
kind of what I'm trying to figure out is like, can I gauge is how much they want that?
Hmm.
You can give me an insight roll.
It's an 11.
They're probably not going to let you in.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Punks.
Punks indeed.
She's definitely grumbling.
I've already got
Right.
one. It's very nice.
Well, let's get going before we run out of daylight. What passes for daylight around here?
Yep. At this point, we're probably going to be traveling in darkness.
It's going to be coming up on it pretty
Yeah.
soon. So you have to go back to the Raven
Well,
River.
let's move.
Yeah, you've got a good hour-long travel ahead of you.
Hmm.
So, quick question. Zan, did you use any of your hit dice to heal during the short rest?
No?
Are you going to?
Can I?
Yeah, if you ride in the cart, you just hang out.
Okay.
So you take your hit dice. So you have you're level 3 or 4 right now.
3.
3.
3. So you can roll up to 3d8 and add your Constitution modifier to each dice to heal. So I'd just use 1 probably.
Okay, so I do get my challenge divinity.
And I add my Constitution?
You add your Constitution modifier back.
Do we only ever get one channel divinity charge? Like,
That brings them all back.
Cool. So you rest. You put some ointment or some duck fat or something on there.
I don't know. By this point, Malia has 2.
You mean Dawn Caller?
What?
Oh,
no, I'm
sure.
channel
No, I'm
divinity.
talking to Amy about.
Sorry, I
channel
thought you were
divinity.
talking about your character. I'm like, that's not who you're playing right now.
I don't have any channel divinity.
I was confused for a moment, but it's fine.
Yeah, because it says I get channel divinity, and it only says
What do you know?
use channel divinity use it. When you're channel divinity, you choose which option to use. Then you have to use finish a short or long rest to use your channel divinity again. So you only get one of them ever.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's different for Paladin.
When you take this oath at 3rd level, you gain the following 2 options. That's all it is. Yeah, no, I
It's-
only get
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
more expansive for clerics.
yeah.
because that's what they're all about.
Mhm.
All right, and you will set off toward the Wizard of Wines. And I think, honestly, this is probably a good time for us to take a quick bathroom break.
Seems good.
So
Sounds good.
let's do that, and we'll be back in just a minute. See you in a second, guys. Welcome back to Curse of Strahd, episode 8. I guess chapter 8. We were using chapters, not episodes. I keep doing that. Chapter 8. You okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Who
All
are we
right.
asking? Which one of us?
Whoever's coughing the most. You continue down the road, crossing the bridge again, and back up to the junction that will take you toward the branch of the old Svalich road that leads to the winery. After a half mile along this new path, the road becomes a muddy trail that meanders through the woods, descending gradually until the trees part, revealing a mist-shrouded meadow. Above you, you can see that the moon is starting to crest on the far horizon, and that darkness is truly settling over the land.
Crap.
The trail
That's
splits.
Gonna start being even more vigilant.
On one branch, you can see it heads west into a valley. The other leads south into dark woods. A wooden signpost at the intersection points west and reads, Vineyard.
Guess we go west.
The light drizzle continues around you. Unpainted fences blindly follow the trail, which skirts north of a sprawling vineyard before bending south down toward a stately building. The fog takes on a ghostly form as it swirls between the neatly tended rows of grapevines. Here and there, you see rope-handled half-barrels used for hauling grapes. North of the trail is a large strand of trees. A man wearing a dark cloak and cowl stands at the edge of these trees. You see his pale hand beckon you forward. Do you approach or do you continue toward the vineyard?
Can we see his features, or does he have like a hood up type thing?
He has his hood up. He is it is raining though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so fair.
But no, he is a cloaked figure.
And he's
How
at
far
the edge
away
of
is
the
he?
forest?
He is at the edge of of the woods to the north, basically. So you're traveling along a road. If you continue west, you will... I'm going to assume this is west on the reversed camera. Basically, you keep following the road, the vineyard's here. He's above the road on the north side.
And we're on horses, right?
You have 2 carts.
Okay, so 2 carts, but we don't actually have horses that we're riding.
I mean, you can ride the horse if you want, but it's probably better just to have the cart.
Okay. Just want to make sure that was the case.
Basically, is he within speaking distance, or would we have to shout to communicate with him? Because I'm not super down with shouting, but if I could talk to him, I might say something.
He's about 40 feet away from you at this point.
So that would be really rough to... How about 2 of us go over and check while you guys stay?
I am amenable to this. Who should go?
Okay.
I think Zan's driving one cart and I'm probably driving the other.
Yeah, at this point. So then let me and Brother Karas go see what he wants. Maybe he's got information.
I cast light before we go.
Okay.
Well, at least there's one person with good insight going.
Yeah.
All right.
Just been rolling terribly.
As you head over, let's see.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. Of the 4 of us, it's me and Neil that have been rolling well on insight and noticing crap and persuasion.
Shasta,
Yeah.
you cast light, and as you approach, you get about 20 feet from them. I don't know why there's a dog in that sound effect. We're gonna go to...
These dogs are great.
I mean, true.
Always need more dogs.
You don't need 92 dogs. You need 91.
But what about 101 Dalmatians?
That's too many Dalmatians. Dalmatians are mean, too, so... It's all the inbreeding. Alright, anyway. As you head toward the cloaked figure, your light spell will illuminate the darkness. And that's when you'll notice that the stand of trees has a number of other hooded individuals. They're wearing dark rain leather cloaks and cowls. All in all, there are 9 people.
Divine sense?
They appear... Well, they're not registering anything.
Okay, so they're not undead, and they're not fiends, and they're not... What is the other thing?
They're not the other thing.
The other thing.
I don't care
Celestials!
As you approach, a bent and bowed old man with a long, wispy white beard, hunched over a cane, will lean out. Who goes there?
Travelers come to visit the winery.
Ah, you've come for wine. Now,
What can you tell us?
I can tell you once you tell me your names.
I'm Shasta.
And I am Brother Karas,
A brother of what?
brother of the welcoming flame.
I know not this welcoming flame.
It's true. My God is not often heard in your land, but he brings light and peace.
From the corner, a man who... Both of you make me an insight roll.
I'm gonna use a different dice.
Hey, I rolled well again. 25.
You didn't botch!
Yeah.
8.
Would you get 8? Another one of the cloaked men will lean forward and whisper something in the old man's ear. A quick look at him. He looks familiar to you, Shasta. Brother Karas, you will immediately recognize that this is probably a relation of Erwin Mardikov, the innkeeper in Vallaki. And the way that he is leaning in and talking to this old man shows a familial deference. He's about the same age as Erwin, the younger man is, which would imply this old man may be his father.
In that case, I'm going to go, pardon me, sir. Do you know the innkeeper of Vallaki?
I do. He is my stupid son. And this
Oh,
This is all his fault.
Oh,
I can see the resemblance.
and
But what?
how? What?
What is his fault?
Hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about here.
Evil druids attacked the winery and forced me and my family to take refuge in the woods.
How is that his fault?
He should have stayed here as a guard. It's
So,
the family business. He waves his stick at you. The
forging your own
family
paths
business.
does not make it your fault.
Giving
You had
up
faith
your
that you-
responsibilities.
Having faith in your family is hardly someone's fault.
What brings you on my land? You with the wagging tongue.
We have business here. Seems there's
This
been a
is my
shortage of
winery.
wine.
The business is with me.
Well, whatever shipments you've had recently, something happened to them.
Yes,
They
we
never
were
made it
forced
to their
out by
destinations.
twig blights and druids.
Okay. So,
Father, you should probably calm down. I will calm down when I am ready to calm down. And I am not ready yet.
so if
now.
we approach the winery, we will be met with hostilities. If you're here,
You're being met with hostilities now.
I can tell. But in terms of actual combat and sword before words,
Yea, there are a number of evildoers, druids inside of that building.
can you tell me how many?
He turns and another one of the hooded individuals steps forward, revealing a fairly comely woman in her mid-30s. Many. All in all, I remember that there were at least 3 of the druids. But who knows how many other creatures they might have summoned.
Hmm.
They are using blights. Tree people.
What interest would they have in your winery?
They serve the devil.
And what interest does he have in depriving the citizens of wine?
He wants to ruin everyone's good time. He's a big prick. With a little prick.
That's explanation enough for me?
Look, you need wine? You are here from where?
Well, Valaki and then Kresk. Both towns seem interested in the wine.
You take
Kresk
care
seems
of...
to need it more.
You take care of the druids. I can get you wine. I have 3 barrels waiting in in a loading dock, and another 3 barrels and a bunch of wine bottles in the cellar. There's more wine in the fermenting area that needs to be casked. But if you take it back, I can... 2 carts is a tall order, but I think I can probably manage it.
You see. Okay. Is there somewhere we can rest for the night so that we can deal with your druid problem in the morning?
We are sleeping amongst the trees.
Then would we be able to join you? Some of us can take watch, help with your security. None of us are particularly weak, I would say. Some of us stronger than others. She glances over at where Don Collar is sitting in the cart.
You do not think that you are strong enough to take them now?
We just dealt with vampires this morning. I'm very tired. Kresk denied us entry.
Why would they let you in? What do you have to offer?
Well, perhaps if we retrieve some wine for them, then we have something to offer. The point is, we can help you, but we need to rest first.
There are children here.
Then we should help protect them.
The walls of the vineyard will protect them, Father. Father, calm down. Calm down. I will not have my grandchildren stay out in the cold with the wolves and the other monsters.
Had we not arrived, what would you have done?
We would have left.
And gone where?
There are places.
The roads are perilous at night. You know this better than I do.
I have my ways.
I see.
Do you always let this woman speak for you?
What's wrong with letting a woman speak for you?
There's nothing wrong with letting a woman speak for you, but this woman...
Why? I speak reasonably? You seem... It seems like you're looking for a fight, but you will not get one here. I'm
It's too
offering you a...
bad. I was looking for someone with a little bit of fight in them.
I've got fight in me. I just don't want to fight you. It would not do your family any good for you to fall.
And he will wave his hand and walk back. The man who had spoken in his ear earlier will take his place. If you wish to camp in the woods with us, we will not stop you. Although, I do warn you, the longer that we wait to take this on, the harder it will be.
Understand. Let us speak with our companions and see what they think.
Do not mind him. He is very protective and very old, and the rain does bad things to his knees that make him even crankier than normal.
I didn't take it personally.
My name is Adrian. I am the eldest son of the Martikovs. You come from Valaki? I imagine that you probably have met my brother, Erwin.
Indeed, yeah. Actually, he's one of the people who wanted us to come check out what happened at the winery. Now it makes a little more sense.
He was probably worried. We have not sent word in several days. We managed to hold them off for a little while, but they overran us. And it has been rough going.
What can you tell me about their abilities? Like, what can they do?
They are druids. They are able to call down natural magics. And they resurrect, they erect blights, creatures of the land, tree elementals. Are any of you wizards? And I hear they're very flammable.
I mean, Shasta looks over at Brother Cars. That's sort of your specialty.
Smiling.
Let me just double check that I'm not lying to you, because I've never used blights in a game before.
You know, I like to assume that if it's made of tree, it's probably flammable.
That's what I was assuming, but this game has fooled me a couple of times before.
That's true.
There we go.
Cat.
Twig blight. Twig blight.
Ollie!
Vulnerability fire. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We're all good.
Yeah.
Good. Ow, my foot.
Do you head over and talk to your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Shasta will turn to Brother Cars as they walk back, saying, "Do you think that this is something we should try and take on tonight?"
My sense is that it would make some people happier, but my sense is also that I trust your knowledge of yourself, and if you would rather wait for the morning,
I would rather
I
wait
will
till we don't.
support you 100% in that.
I don't want to be surprised by something else at night when trying to take back the winery.
My concern about waiting through the night is what might surprise us in the woods. There is no sense trying to sleep in a vulnerable position
It's true.
when no sleep is to be had.
But if we're also not in peak form and end up fighting, trying to take these things on and are defeated, then we're not doing them any favors either.
This I acknowledge. Let us hear what Dawncaller has to say about it.
And I suppose Ismark and Irina as well.
Yes.
Mostly dog collar.
Yes, mostly dog collar.
All right, heading back to the group, you find them just waiting, awaiting your return. What do you say to
So,
them?
there's been a complication. She points over at the person or the individuals in their cloaks. Those would be the people who own the winery.
Shouldn't they be
Okay.
inside of the winery? Ismark says.
Yes, they should. However, the winery's been taken over by evil druids.
Ah, of course.
They've been driven out. So,
How many?
at least 3,
Okay.
possibly more. And whatever things that they have, blights, tree blights, elementals that they have that thankfully are probably flammable.
Do
Brother
I know
Karas?
anything about these?
Brother Karas is going to say something first, though.
No. I literally just muted myself because I was laughing. That's all.
Oh, okay. Don Collar, you can make me an intelligence roll to see if you know anything about blights.
17.
17? That's probably enough. So they're human shaped, basically they're Groots.
Okay.
They are neutral evil blights. There are various types of them: trees, vines, shrubs. While they're motionless, they're indistinguishable from a normal tree. But when they're very they're jerks, I guess is the easy way of putting it. You burn them; they're pretty dry. Fire will ruin their day.
A little bit spicy.
Yeah.
Does like breaking them up, like the
Oh yeah, you can hack them up.
bludgeoning
No
still
problem.
work?
Oh yeah, everything
Okay.
works. But they don't appear to have eyes or ears.
So they somehow sense you, and that's when they
Yep.
try and get you.
Yep.
All
They're
right.
very perceptive, actually. Damn.
Possibly through Vine networks or something. I don't know.
They just check Vine.
Hmm.
They heard you coming through the grapevine.
Oh man. Works
All
because
right.
we're at a
Good night,
winery.
everybody. No,
Terrible. That's it. We're game over.
Game over.
That was the peak point of the night. It's all downhill from here. So
All right, so 3 druids, an unknown number of blights.
possibly more druids. 3 is all they could account for it though.
What are we waiting for?
Well,
The sooner we get it done, the sooner we got walls.
this is true. But we're also
Druids one with wine.
yeah, that was unclear. But apparently they serve, Strahd, and he wants to ruin everyone's day. So, yeah.
Were they trying to set the grapes free?
No, just apparently don't want people to have wine.
Hmm.
Considering how much demand there is for the wine, I say it was pretty effective. So,
So
It's
if we
kind of
get rid of
tragic.
them, they'll get back to making more wine?
yes, and they have some wine that they can provide us if we are able to, do away with the druids.
Right, let's go do that.
All right.
Do we think that we're actually in a position to take this on right now?
No,
Yes.
but let's do it anyway. Sounds like a plan.
Well, I
I am
suppose we
fine.
should tell them the good news then, because it's
Why
going to
don't
be
we
rough
leave
for
our
me.
carts with them so they're not in the way?
Yep. At least maybe then if we, die horrible deaths, they have a additional way of getting
They
away.
have 2 horses and carts. Great.
Well, at least it's something they can put the children on.
Exactly.
I did offer to, if we decided that we couldn't take it on immediately, to assist them in standing guard through the night so that they're not here alone. But if you think we can do this, then I will trust your judgment.
I think we should do it, because otherwise we get attacked by wolves all night, and then we have to still do it in the morning.
That's true.
I mean, I could
Not
try
gonna be able to
sneaking in
rest
there
here.
and, taking care of them when no one's, looking.
You know what? Honestly, you'd probably trip a tree or something and then just everything, I'll set the alarms off.
Yeah, until they move, you can't see lights. They just look like normal stuff.
That's really disturbing. So, I mean, if you see a
Yeah,
tree in the
sure.
house, then that's probably a blight, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or we just disable someone's topiary. But in any case, we're doing them a service.
All right.
We just burn down all the trees.
Just don't, no.
I'm just spitballing here. I'm trying to come up with
Anything
ideas.
that's in the vineyard, there shouldn't be trees in there, right?
No.
So as long as it doesn't disguise itself as a grapevine,
Can they do that?
I mean, they can
There's
be
a good
chance
vines or
that they can.
shrubs or.
They are creatures awoken by evil druids serving a undead master. I think that presuming that they cannot make themselves, that they cannot awaken the vines themselves.
Oh, let's just
Can you
try not to.
If they turn into grapevines, can you make wine from blight grapes?
I wouldn't drink it if I were you, Ismark says.
I
Probably
would
wouldn't
not.
hold
I'm just
still
wondering
long
if it's
enough either.
that's true.
They're more likely to let you pick and then like wrap you in vines and strangle you.
A
They're not gonna let you leave.
brief thought. If we are going to do this, I think that it may be best to remove the druids as quickly as possible.
I agree.
I can call on the fire brig to keep back creatures, whatever creatures they summon. But
True.
you three, if as the people have told us there are 3 druids,
We
can
assume.
execute them quickly and in a summary fashion,
Well,
then
we have to get through the vineyard though to get to the
Mhm.
winery. So
I guess let's try and be sneaky. Ismark,
Oh.
Arena, are you coming with us, or are you
No.
going to help the?
We wouldn't let you take this alone. I'll be by your side. As will I.
all right,
Let's
Then
go
let's-
wreck them.
Drop off this.
I like you. You have
I'm
a
getting-
proper attitude about these things.
Irina shoots you a look. I'm getting tired of being a damsel in distress.
That's fair.
Good.
No one
so
wants to be
stop
the
being
damsel.
one.
She draws her sword. Working on it.
Just don't
There's
get
the
yourself
spirit.
killed. That's the first rule. I seem to have violated that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
you're not
gets
good at that.
No.
Get better.
Okay.
Now let's
Thought I
go.
was. Okay. Okay.
Dawn Caller's just like, whoa,
There we go.
with her lovely silver mace. Maul. Maul.
Okay.
It's a
Not a
maul.
mace.
There we go.
I mean,
All right, I have everybody's character sheets now. All right, so approaching the winery. Do you leave your carts behind?
yeah, we leave them with the. We'll actually leave them with the others and be like, okay, so if this goes horribly, here's some transport. Please don't leave us here.
Should not
Until
be a
it's clear.
problem. Best of luck.
And just be warned, one of those came from Kresk, one coming from Volaki.
I mean, if we die, I don't think it really matters if they make them back where they're supposed to go.
Hmm.
I'm more saying if they don't take him back and the Baron finds out, he seems like a bit of a dick.
This is true. This is true.
So, just so you
Alright.
know.
The 6 of you head over. Now, toward the winery, situated in the midst of the vineyard. The winery is an old 2-story building with multiple entrances. A thick ivy covers every wall, and iron fencing along its roofline. The trail ends at an open loading dock on the ground floor. A wooden stable of a more recent construction is attached to the east side of the winery, next to the loading dock. To the west of the winery is a crumbling well and a wooden outhouse. As you're approaching, you're within probably about 30 feet. The well-worn bits of ground where the loading dock sees its regular wagons. You'll hear a rustle of dead vines all around you. Inhuman shapes emerge from the vineyard, their limbs cracking as they trudge forth through the mist and rain. I'd like you all to make me a perception roll. If you have dark vision, you may make this with advantage.
Yes. Half elf for the win. Only in this
I think
case.
that's one of the few things I
Unnatural
don't
20.
have.
A natural 20?
18.
All right.
Unnatural 20.
22.
22. Fantastic. Looking out into the darkness, you can see 30 twig blights approaching. 30. Various heights and shapes, some of them larger than others. You think maybe not twigs, maybe vine or needle blights? They're approaching rapidly.
Well.
Looks like you have 2 choices here. Well, 3 if you run away.
So 2 choices.
2 choices. What do you do?
What are those 2 choices?
Into the
well,
house or stand and fight.
Basically, they're approaching you out of the vinery. This is a picture like Night of the Living Dead type of
Okay.
stuff. Like they're shambling at you, and you have a house in front of you.
All right, everyone into the house. We kill the druids, and if any blights stand, we deal with them afterwards. And Brother Karis is going to take off towards the house.
Das is booking it behind him. Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
Haste over stealth.
Okay, so if you're watching, if you have your Twitch window up, I'm going to have some maps there.
Yeah.
Okay, boop. Okay, so you were approaching near there. So you see where the wagon is there?
It hasn't loaded for me yet. Give me a
Okay.
sec.
So the loading dock is where you're going
Yep.
to run up.
Okay.
As you head up, parked in the loading dock is a wagon with 3 barrels set in braces on its bed. A raised wooden walkway runs along the west, south, and east walls. Through a hole in the ceiling, you can see a wooden arm of a loading crane with ropes and hooks dangling from it. Wine barrels in, let's see, blah, blah, blah. The door to the south that leads inside of the actual house looks like it's been broken open and hangs ajar.
All right.
So it looks like there are 2 ways into the house from this angle. One is you go through the door. Anybody else could probably climb the rope to the 2nd floor. But
Is that in
that's-
athletics?
It's definitely an athletics roll. Then you'd be climbing up that rope and winch.
Hmm.
Or you could go into the door.
Or
All right.
shield out,
Karis?
though. Shield out,
Shield
mace
out.
out through the door.
Yeah.
All right, Brother Karis. What I'd like everybody to do is you're going into this... I'll wait to our initiative, actually. Okay, so you rush into a small hallway. As you can see there is... are you trying to bar the door behind you?
I mean, I think we're trying to make sure everyone gets inside.
Okay. Heading
think-
inside.
I might go and use the rope because I've got the 2nd story work skills.
Okay.
So
Sure, that will separate you from the party, though.
that's
I mean,
fine.
I was thinking I might take the rope as well, so that we can maybe pinch their stuff.
Yeah.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Well-
Both of you can make me athletics rolls. Brother Karis.
Shasta, who do you think makes it through the door first? I'll just let it be your call. If I'm second, I'll bar the door.
Well, I've got the shield up, so I got my sword and shield. So you might want to be behind me.
Sure. I also have a shield up.
That's true. But you actually have spell slots still, don't you?
Yes.
You can help cure things if I go down first. So
Okay.
I'll go first.
Well, then I will bar the door when I go in.
Okay. Both of you will rush inside, seeing your companions leap up onto the wagon and jump up toward the ropes. Who is first? Probably Zan?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make me an athletics roll.
18.
18. All right, you're going to hoist yourself up the ropes without much of a problem as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it doesn't cost me extra movement.
Oh, it doesn't? So you'll just do that as a free action then.
Yeah.
And that takes you up to 16. Okay. Dawncaller, go ahead and give me an athletics roll as well.
18.
18. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split you guys into 2 groups. I'll be back with you in a moment. Shasta and Brother Karas, you are going to rush through the door, seeing your allies climb a rope and vanish from view behind you. Do you still bar the door?
Yep, doubly so then.
Okay. So you can do so. It looks like the door has been forced, but there's a nearby cabinet that you can push in front of it with just a little bit of heft. It makes a tremendous noise as it screeches across the ground, but will find a nice,
Cool.
solid home at the base of that door.
Cool. I love being a distraction.
It's true. Were you doing anything else?
Getting my shield up.
Oh, and that reminds me. So with that, Ismark and Arena are actually they would have gone in with you guys.
Oh, then we
So they'll
wait for them to come through the door
Yeah.
before we bar. Yeah.
Yes. Let's not
Yes.
forget that they exist. All right.
NPCs that aren't fair.
As soon as you slam the door and push the dresser the credenza.
Cabinet.
Credenza.
Oh, credenza, even
It's a
fancier.
credenza. Yeah.
What's a credenza?
Go watch living with me, or living with myself, and you'll understand.
Just gonna Google it.
It's Paul Rudd. All right, so you will smell the rich scent of fermenting wine rushing out from the next room over. And as you slam the desk over, you will be alerted by the sound of several swarms of ravens calling in rapid alarm to you, which means that you can roll initiative.
How does 20 sound?
20 sounds okay. Ismark
Not natural,
is
unfortunately.
blue. Oh god damn it, Ismark.
Is he not doing well tonight?
He's
He doesn't
not
seem like he's
rolling
doing.
well. Okay, so I'm gonna divide this in half. All right, so 20. Brother Cars, what'd you get?
12.
Oh, what am I doing?
I don't know.
Shh.
Sorry.
Arena, and then what is the? These are two. What kind of blights are these? Blights. Oh, okay, cool. Well, Ismark beat the blights.
Good.
They both rolled 1, and he has a +2 on Dex.
Well,
All right. As the crows begin erupting into a cacophony of caws.
cacophony.
A cacophony, yeah. Okay. You will glance over and see that the next room over is a large 2-story chamber dominated by 4 enormous wooden casks, each 8 feet wide and 12 feet tall. A wooden staircase in the center of the room climbs into a 10-foot-high wooden balcony that clings to the south wall, which has 4 windows set. You don't care about this because you are in the middle of combat.
Question.
Yes.
Do any of the things that you are skipping over describing seem like potential entrances or exits we should be concerned about? Because we just barred the exit behind us. If we need to make a hasty retreat, can we jump out a window?
The windows are on the second floor, but absolutely, yeah. You'd have to rush up to the second floor, which is right in the center of the room. There's a stairwell leading up to that balcony.
Okay.
However, 20...
How many doors are there out of this room? We're in the main area, right?
You're in this hallway.
Oh, the hallway. What? Oh, so the corridor and then so there's the stairwell up.
Yeah. The little what do you call it? Spiral staircase.
And then there's a door to the right of us when we've come in.
Okay, so he wouldn't have gone outside yet.
Okay.
However, as you are inside, you will hear the balcony creak, drawing your eye up to a wild-looking figure hunched over the westernmost cask, pouring a flask of thick syrup into it. She wears a gown made of animal skins and a headdress with goat horns. Her hair is long and unkempt. Suddenly, you see something skittering across the floor. It looks like a tiny creature made of twigs. It moves from its hiding place under the stairs and disappears behind the easternmost cask. Another 8 of these creatures suddenly emerge out and launch toward you. So we're going to start off with Shasta. So Shasta, there are 8 of these small twig blights rushing out toward you. You imagine there are others hidden around the room, but 8 are beginning to converge on your location, but they have not acted yet. What would you do?
Do they look like am I able to move past them and get to the woman before, or would I provoke attacks of opportunity if I did that?
They have not moved out from underneath yet, so I'd want you to give me an athletics check, basically, to just leap over parts of the cask. It's not acrobatics in this case because you're not tumbling.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the picture here. So it's like there's the corridor with the spiral staircase, and then there's a set of doors which have like those 4 vats.
That's the room we're talking about.
Okay, so we have entered it?
You are standing at the doors. You see those open doors?
Yeah.
You're
so
there.
we have not entered yet. We are
You have
going
not
in.
entered. This is all. This caught your attention, and you're looking over.
Cool. So yeah, I will move through there. And you want me athletics?
Yeah, make me an athletics check to see if you can just basically like leap over this area and not get swiped out.
That's going to be a 19.
All right. So leaping over, you're going to hop onto the stairwell. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll spend all of your movement getting up the stairwell, You won't be able to act as well unless you have something that allows you to do a double move and act. But you'll make it there.
No, I don't think so.
All right, so you have rushed up. Brother Karas, what do you do?
All right.
I mean, unless I could have shot her and then moved, because I could have pulled my arrow.
If you prefer to shoot with... Are you shooting or are you attacking with your sword?
Well, I had my sword and shield out, so I would have had to switch. So
yeah.
I would have had to move, like, sheath and, like, pull my thing while I was moving.
I mean, you've already committed to charging in and attacking, so...
Yeah, so I figured that's probably what I would have done.
Okay.
So...
All right, Brother Karas, what do you do?
So we have that tiny map.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No. Hey, that is incredibly helpful. Each square on there is 5 feet.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
am I at the first set of the square, like at the bottom, or am I on the second set of stairs on the balcony?
You are up the stairs and next to the second vat from the left.
Okay, so I'm on the... Okay.
You're on the second floor. You've rushed up the stairs and are ready to engage combat with the druid.
Right. And so 8 of these small twiggy creatures can see me, which means I assume I can see them.
You can see them. They are crouched under the barrel on the east side, the rightmost side of the room, and among the barrels along the wall as well.
Okay.
Now these guys are rather small. They're about 1.5 feet to 2 feet tall.
There's just a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. What do you do?
Well, as much as possible without provoking attacks of opportunity, I will walk into the room. I will clang my mace upon my shield, and I will tell them that they can burn in the light of Brig. And I will channel divinity. And the reason I was asking about line of sight and stuff is that each hostile creature within 30 feet of me makes a con save. This isn't fire damage, this is radiant damage, but whatever.
Okay.
But every hostile creature within 30 feet of me makes a con save. If they fail, they take 2d10 radiant damage. If they succeed, they take half. And that might include the druid. I don't know about...
the druid is definitely... Oh, actually, hold on. If you step into the doorway, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... No, she's too far away.
Okay, cool.
But, so there are 8 of these guys, though. And...
I'm excited for level 7.
Okay, so... I got 2 nat 20s on this. Holy shit.
I don't like that.
Okay, so... go ahead and roll me damage.
Yep. It's 16 on a failed save and 8 on a successful save.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 sec. So these twig blights have... Okay. 16 on a failed save?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say that the nat 20s are definitely a success.
Oh, sorry, DC 14.
DC 14? Okay. Your fire will spread out across the room, and as it does, you will see 8 of these creatures shriek as they are suddenly ignited by your divine fire. 2 of them will seem to resist it for a moment before the fire catches inside of their guts and lights them up entirely. 2 of them are going to catch so quickly and so brightly that they are going to shriek and run, tipping over into the empty large cask on the far right side of the room toward you, and will actually ignite the side of it. And with that, 8 of them fall to the ground dead.
All right. That's my turn.
I think you did enough.
Isn't it radiant? It's not actual fire.
It's in this case, it is like holy magic fire. It's radiant.
It's holy magic fire, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's still singeing the side of the barrel, that's for damn sure.
It's mechanically radiant damage, narratively holy fire.
Okay, cool. Because if these are vats and they're potentially alcohol,
That's why I didn't cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
All right.
We don't want to blow up the vineyard.
As you approach the druid, she will snarl at you. Accidentally turn off the stream. Sorry about that. She will snarl at you and...
Oh shoot, I forgot that I can use my Channel Divinity as a bonus action.
As she turns and looks at you, you will see that her skin has a rough bark-like texture to it.
Cool.
Almost as if the wood is warping inside of her flesh. And I need
Spooky.
you. That's what it is.
So, like, maybe...
Like her
All right,
skin
I
is
need you
made
to make
of
me a
bark?
strength saving. Yeah, like her skin is very barky.
Like bark skin, perhaps.
Maybe a
Maybe.
little bit.
Maybe.
I
Strength save?
need Shasta to make me a strength save, please.
11.
All right, that is going to be a fail.
Yeah.
Weeds and vines will sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting on starting at the top of the stairwell, which will reach you. For the duration, this is difficult terrain. You are restrained by the entangling plants.
Is it treated as a grapple?
Yes, you have to make a strength save against my spell save DC on as your action.
This is...
Entangle.
Entangle, okay. Yeah. On
all right,
my
so
turn, I have to do it. Okay.
You have to do it on your turn. It takes your action. All right. With that, Irina is going to rush forward and run to the bottom of the stairwell as well. And Ismark as well is going to rush up. They will not be entangled, but will be right next to you, basically watching your back. Ismark stays on the stairwell to keep an eye on the location around. And with that, 4 blights are going to crawl out from the far drum and are going to rush forward and attack Ismark, climbing up the stairs to do so. At which point... Oh, damn, actually, that's going to hit him. I need more d4s. They're going to rush up and scratch at him, dealing 10 points of damage to him. However, one of them is going to take a swipe, flip over, and land atop one of its burning fellows and ignite itself. So that one's had a better day.
Nice.
Okay, and that is the end of this round. And I am going to cut across to the other problems that are happening right now. Meanwhile, across the winery upstairs, Zan, you climb to the second floor, and as you do, you will find yourself in a room with a wooden floor and a 10-square-foot hole that you're climbing through at this very moment. Looming over the hole is a wooden winch that you wrap your fingers around and are able to quickly move yourself to the floor of the room. However, perched atop the winch... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you decide if you get off the winch at this point. Perched atop the winch is a man with wild hair, rotted teeth, and skin painted red with blood. He waves a gnarled staff made from a black branch and babbles at you. Looking down at you, he says, "Stay away from me! Stay away from me! I have the vampire staff! I have all the power here! Get back! Back, I say!"
I will start lobbing knives at him.
Okay, he's like literally like you don't even have to lob. You can just start stabbing. He's close enough.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, why don't we all roll initiative? You and Dawncaller and this guy. Oh god, that's a 4. All right, so what do we got?
Christina, I love your smirk.
22.
That explains it.
Okay, and Zan, you're going to get to go first because of your first story work.
Okay.
So what do you have?
Wait, for my initiative or for attack?
For your initiative.
15 to 20.
Okay, so Zan, you're going to get basically a free action because you have second story work. So what would you like to do? You just to stab him?
Yep.
Okay. Are you getting off of the rope and onto the ground to do so?
Might as well. Okay. Get half decent footing.
Sounds great. Go ahead and make me an attack roll, please.
I'm assuming that's not a sneak.
It is not going to be a sneak attack. because
Spend your inspiration, unless you did that already.
that's true. You can spend your inspiration to make it a sneak attack.
Yeah, I might as well. 'cause
Yeah. All right. So roll another die because that gives it advantage.
That's good because that roll sucked. And, natural 20.
Are you shitting me? Really?
Yeah.
Double all dice.
My first roll was a 3, which is
That one wouldn't have hit. All right.
Yeah.
So natural 20. You are going to roll. Don't forget to double all dice that you're using. So that's you're using your knife.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 1d4.
I'm glad I said something.
2d6, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's 2d4 and 4d6.
2, 3, 4, 5, and another die 6. There we go. That's a lot of dice. 4.
Oh, did you roll well?
Yeah.
4. There's a bunch of ones. 4,
No,
5,
no, don't
6,
say that.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 damage.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're climbing the rope, are you just going to lash out with your knife as you're hanging from the rope?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Pretty
your
epic.
knife is going to plunge into his left eye socket and pop the viscous ball there. He's going to scream in pain and claw at his ruined eye, and you'll be able to leap to the floor out of the way of Dawncaller. Dawncaller, it's going to take your movement to climb this rope,
Okay.
but you can still make an attack at him with disadvantage. Like hanging from the rope, you'll just... If you spend your inspiration, you'll have flat.
Okay, I'll make an attack at disadvantage. I can do
Yeah.
that. And I am raging.
Okay, you would like to rage?
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
All right. So that is 15.
That's a hit.
Yes.
Shit.
Okay, so that's 15 normal damage and 6 radiant damage.
Okay, I gotta double check something real quick. Nope. Okay. All right. He is going to be clawing at his face from his missing eyeball as you come up and wing him, backhanding him across the face with your maul. You're going to hear the sound of his face shattering as he is hurled against the far wall. He scrabbles upward, barely conscious and alive. Zan, it's your turn.
I will continue to press the attack.
Okay. Dawncaller is within 5 feet of you and him now, by the way, so you can sneak
Okay.
attack.
Yes, I will do that. Can I attack with 2 daggers?
Yes, you can. You do not add your strength or dexterity. Oh, did you remember to add your dexterity to the last attack?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You mean like damage? Damage?
Yeah,
wise?
for damage. So basically, you don't add the damage to your offhand.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Cool. So you can make 2 attacks.
Ooh, one's 15 and one is 20.
Okay. So the other thing is that when you're doing a sneak attack, you should... Actually, you don't need to declare in advance because you declare sneak attack after you roll.
Yeah, it's
So-
like smite.
It's like
'cause you're
smite.
sneaky.
So yeah, one of those is a sneak attack. One of them isn't.
Okay.
Because you can only do sneak attack once per round, but you might as well do it on the nat 20.
Did you specify which dice
don't
was
have to.
going to which one? No,
Oh,
for
that,
the...
that,
Really?
That wasn't
You
a
don't have to.
natural 20.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
All right, so go ahead and roll me sneak attack once. So you're rolling 2d4 plus 2d6 plus your dex mod.
Okay. That's a little
And
better.
tell me if you roll more than 6.
Well, yeah, one of the dice is a 6. So,
Okay. Tell me how this goes.
Yeah, it was like 16 total.
Tell me how this goes, Mike.
Overkill.
How does Zan finish the fight?
Probably put like a big X marks the spot right on his chest.
All right, so you cut deep into his breast, stabbing deep into his rib cage and slashing through his heart. blood pours down the front of him as he looks at you, waving this knotted wooden staff in your face for just a moment. I am the vampire staff. I have... And he is going to tumble to the ground, dropping this clattering staff to the ground. Now this staff itself it's really weird looking, guys. I'm just going to show you it. So it's that.
So it's made of smoke. That's a
it is glowing with smoke, but it looks almost like a broom with a number of twigs bound together. It clatters to the ground next to you. Dawncaller, you're going to be able to pull yourself up, and the druid's out of initiative, so I'm going to cross him out. All right, back at the other side of the fight, we see that it is Shasta's turn, as you are ensnared with vines. What do you do?
So, as a bonus action, she's going to, because I can use her bonus action first, right?
You have to, it
Doesn't matter
says,
what order.
a creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make...
Yes.
So you are restrained right now.
Yeah, so but I can use a bonus action in my turn. Like, it doesn't, the order I don't think really matters.
So
I
long
can
as
do one or the
restraining
other.
doesn't prevent you from doing it now.
No, because basically I just yell at her.
Okay.
Because I'm going to use my channel divinity of vow of enmity to curse at her, essentially in very vulgar language.
Okay.
To get advantage. Is she within 10 feet of me though?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She
To gain
is 10 feet
advantage.
from you.
To gain advantage on attack rolls against her for a minute or until her hit points drop to 0. And then I'm going to do a strength. It was contested strength.
What's contested strength?
Yeah. Which, yeah, I'm going to do that.
So all restrained means is you can't move.
I'm going to spend my inspiration to break free.
Okay.
I haven't used inspiration yet, have I? I don't think I did.
Yes, you have.
What? What did I do? Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I rolled 7s on both of them.
Okay.
So, 7. Strength. It's going to be a 9 for strength. Is it? Oh, wait. Is it strength athletics?
It is just strength according to the spell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's just going to be.
All right. So you are going to find yourself unable to move, but are going to call down your oath of enmity on her as she snarls at you. Brother Karas, what do you do?
How many blights are left?
There are 3 left.
Oh, it's against your spell save DC. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
It's not like grapple.
And they're around Arena and Ismark.
They're around Ismark on the stairwell right now. You could rush ahead and just start whacking them if you really wanted to.
You
better
break
off.
her concentration, the spell her tangle will end.
That's what I was thinking.
Or yeah, kill her. It's all good.
Yeah. Because if it's her concentration, because it's entangles a concentration spell, it's either half the damage she takes or 10, whichever is the higher number.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I don't want to flip through spells right now, so I'm going to cast Sacred Flame and call down Holy Fire upon her.
Nice.
All right.
So, Dex save DC 14.
Nope.
No benefit from cover.
You said Dex save?
Yeah.
Nope. Go ahead, give it to me.
Sweet. Oh, where are my dice? They're all hidden.
Oh, so I'm not officially grappled. I'm just restrained.
You're restrained. You have no speed.
Yeah, it just doesn't give me the grapple condition, so that's good to know.
No, it doesn't. You're restrained.
5 points of radiant damage to her, so
5
it's still
points of
just a
radiant
DC
damage
10 con save.
Yeah.
Or
I guess in
concentration.
theory, you could draw your bow and shoot her from this range, but you'll have disadvantage. Oh wait, no, you couldn't because you spent your action trying to struggle free. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so Brother Karas, that was 10 points of damage?
5 points of radiant damage. I don't
Oh,
know particularly
Yeah,
well.
but it triggers her concentration check to see if she sustains the
DC
spell or
10.
loses it. Yeah.
DC 12?
DC 10 con save.
Okay, she... Ooh, DC 10 con save?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, that spell ends.
Yes!
By 1 point, it ends. Damn. Okay.
No, concentration is a bitch.
All right. Suddenly, as sacred flame erupts around her shawls and various goat-headed helmetry, she will shriek, and the vines around you are going to wither, which is enough of an excuse for her to get pretty angry and
I have a question. Can we
Yes.
hear them fighting, and can they hear us fighting?
You cannot hear them fighting because you barred the door, and a couple of other doors are between you two. However, they're about to hear you guys fighting.
Okay.
Cool.
Upstairs, you are definitely going to hear this because the druid raises her hands to the sky and roars. And I need Amy and Ismark and Irina to all make saves, please.
For what?
This is a Constitution saving throw.
Well, heck.
That is Irina failed. Ismark succeeded.
That's gonna be an 8 from me.
That's gonna be a fail from you, dog.
Oh wait, sorry. Sorry. Save. I do have advantage on that, so proficiency. So 10. Probably
Okay.
not.
Irina's gonna take 6. All right. You're gonna take 15 points of thunder damage,
Ow.
and Ismark's gonna take 5 more. Okay. One moment, please, as I explain what happened. Irina, you have how many hit points? Give me your hit points. You do not have your hit points. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not very many. All right. So, as you approach, she is lit with sacred fire. She screams, and in a moment of anger raises her hands to the sky and calls down a thunderclap that strikes the top of the stairwell. Upstairs in the other fight, you will hear the sound of thunder echoing through the middle of this winery, and Irina will be hit and thrown back 10 feet, which actually is going to send her over... Oh, God. Yep. She's going to go over the edge of the railing and into one of the vats of wine. And you as well are going to be thrown 10 feet back on the catwalk. Now, as this happens, though, the druid screams, calls that down, and seeing Irina thrown away, she comes to her senses for a moment, and you hear her shriek, "Now the master will be..." And that's all she manages to get out. Irina is going to try to swim, and is going to take several gulps of wine and vanish under the edge. Ismark is going to catch his bearings and rush up and take point there. He is going to... What is his bonus? It is not +9, is it? Nope. He rushes forward, raising his sword over his head, and takes 2 swings at the druid, missing both times as she dodges out of the way. And then the blights. 2 of them are going to rush up the stairs and take a swipe at you, Shasta, for 19. One of them is definitely going to miss. You're going to take 2 points of damage from the one that leaps onto you, burying its twigs in your calf muscle. And Brother Karas, another one of them is going to rush at you, and do you mind if I dictate something for your character?
Go ahead.
It rushes you, and it stumbles for a moment over one of its other twiggy brethren, at which point you can easily just kind of nudge it with your foot into the divine fire that's still lit on one of its other friends.
Sure, I'll take that.
Cool. Yeah, it's dead. It botched an attack roll next to fire. It's dead. All right, and that is going to be the end of this round. Upstairs, the staff clatters to the ground as the druid's body hits the ground. What do you do?
I'm going to head down whatever door or passageway is towards where everyone else is fighting.
All right, so one moment while I move the winery around. All right, so you can rush down the spiraling staircase directly in front of you. It spirals down to the main floor, and you will arrive at the end of your round to see this fight as it is breaking out, and you are going to join initiative basically with in round with Brother Karas.
Okay.
Dawncaller, what do you do?
So was there not anything else to the second floor?
There's plenty up here, but Zan has rushed downstairs.
Okay, I'll follow along.
Okay. Are you doing anything, taking anything?
The thing that fell
I
on the
guess I'll
ground?
be stealthy because I don't think I can make it there in time to like attack.
Are you leaving the staff on the ground?
No, you know what? I'll bring my maul down on it
Cool.
Oh!
in an attempt to break it.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a strength roll.
So I'm not sure I actually want to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a
you
weird
know what,
stick.
You know what's great, guys? I'm just gonna pop out of DM mode for a minute. Is when you look at an entry in a book and it's like, if this happens, you're like, the players will never do that. And then 15 minutes later. Okay. What'd you get on your strength
Nat
roll?
20.
Nat. Okay. The wood shatters underneath your maul, and the wood releases a terrible, inhuman scream that echoes louder than the thunderclap, stretching out all the way back to where you imagine that the Martikovs are. Or the Martinovs. Those guys. This echoes across the vineyard. Suddenly, you will hear the sound of horrible, high-pitched inhuman screams outside, matching the tone. And for those of you watching, all of the blights in eyesight suddenly shriek, wither, and die.
Yes.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay, and you can spend your movement heading to backup.
I will.
Okay, so because of the way that they'll take, I'll put you in line with the druid. Okay.
Okay.
So that means all the ones that were fighting us?
All of the blights, anywhere that can hear that scream, have just died.
Hey.
So that's a good 30-something of them. Shasta, it's your round again. You've been pushed away.
Am I knocked down?
You are not knocked down. You were just pushed.
Okay.
So you are 20 feet away from this druid.
Yeah. I want to go up and stab her.
All right.
And because of my vow of enmity, declaring her the worst, I have advantage on my attack roll.
Okay. Ismark will absolutely let you pass.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Good. I'm glad.
He doesn't
I've had
want
words
to
with him
borrow this.
otherwise. Well, neither of these are great rolls, so that kind of sucks. 13.
13 is going to be a miss.
I had a feeling.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. But I will still raise my shield up and try and make sure that he's not in the line of fire, basically.
All right. So you pushing past him. Brother Karas, what do you do? And Zan, what do you do?
Are we literally same initiative slot?
Basically, yes.
Zan, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I was going to see if I can engage and attack with Shasta's opponent.
Absolutely. You can rush to the base of the stairwell and throw your knife at her.
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
So is she currently located right at the top of the stairwell? Like, has she
No,
gone?
she is right next to, she's between the two vats on the left.
Okay, so she hasn't really. Okay.
She hasn't really moved.
11.
11. You are going to throw one of your knives, and it's going to embed itself in the wood of her shoulder, but it doesn't seem to do any damage.
Okay.
It looks like this bitch is made of wood.
And I can see that more clearly because I'm like right in front of her, right?
Yeah, she looks like she's carved out of oak. Brother Karas, what do you do?
Ismark, save your sister. And I'm going to raise my mace, and 3 arcing trails of fire are going to shoot towards her.
All right, go ahead. And do I get a save on these, or?
Nope, these are attack rolls.
Okay.
I didn't roll great, but it's 3 attack rolls, so what's my actual bonus? 10, 12, 24.
24 is a hit.
Yeah.
That wasn't a crit, was it?
No.
Damn.
But pretty good damage. 11 points of fire damage.
11 points of fire damage. I just have to double check something real quick. Does Barkskin give you a vulnerability to fire? Let's find out. I would think that it wouldn't have a downside like that.
Usually not, but
It does not. All right. So, how much damage was that again?
it's magical bark.
11 points of fire damage. It is, however, a concentration spell.
All right.
How does that work? How is it concentration?
Barkskin is a concentration spell.
Oh, so she should have had to, if she failed her other... Wait, if it's a concentration spell and she's had it this whole time, she couldn't have cast Contain.
Unless she isn't the one that cast it.
Unless she isn't the one that cast it, that's true.
Bing. All
We are making
right.
assumptions.
You are making assumptions. Stay in
So I
character.
care. I know.
All right. So that was 11 points of damage, and that's it. She's going to be buffeted back against the wall. Her clothing catches alight as this fire slams into her. And it is her turn. God, everything she has is concentration.
Yeah, that's one of the
That's
struggles of the
Is that
spellcasters.
concentration? That's not concentration. And that is a bonus action. Raising her staff to the air, she is going to scream and endow it with some of nature's might. All right. Really? This is what she has? Okay.
Right of the Emerald Isles.
So, Shasta, do you have a... Wow, really? You suck. Is your armor class 15?
Is 17.
All right. She is going to slam her now magical shillelagh staff into the side of your shield. Dawncaller, what do? You rush into the room and see this fight.
How far away is it?
It is about up the stairs and... Let me count. It's a double move, but if you have any ranged weapons or anything...
I do. I have javelins.
You can javelin her.
Okay, I will fling a javelin at her.
Okay,
I
go
hope
ahead.
you skewer her through the gut.
I hope so too. I'm getting tired of her.
At 20.
I wasn't that tired of her, but okay.
Okay. I need another d6.
All right.
Are you still raging?
Well, I was gonna re-rage for this. Because if you go a turn without attacking a hostile creature, it dies.
Oh, okay.
So last turn.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'll say that the staff counts as a hostile creature.
Sweet. Okay. I will
You're
stay in
breaking
the same
shit.
range
That
then.
counts.
Does it count like the Garu raging?
Holy shit.
Basically.
It's- must be moving to attack every turn.
Well, I rolled 3 6s.
Well, you summon Satan.
Okay, so 11 damage normal. 12 radiant damage.
Okay, just Christine.
I think you blew her up.
How do you want it? Do you want this to do a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves where she gets slammed into the wall? Does it go out the window? Like, what are you
Did
talking
she go out the window?
I want the javelin to go through her and have
Yes.
radiant light come out through, like, and have her
about? All right,
light
I
up
got
from
it.
within.
I can picture this.
Shasta, as the shillelagh slams into the side of your shield, you brace for another blow, when suddenly through the air you hear... And she is thrown backwards 15 feet and is pinned into the wall behind her, the stone wall, as she screams and clutches at the javelin that's pierced the center of her breastbone. Holy light is going to erupt out of her eyes, nose, ears, and mouth as she shrivels into into a burned husk of the woman that she was, and will just dissolve into nothing but clothing around the javelin.
Well, that's how you make raisins.
Oh, time the cavalry showed up.
Ismark is going to go and fish his sister out of the wine vat. And Jesus, good job, guys.
God damn it.
Okay, so we killed one. Is that 2?
Mm.
Did you
Are we
get
still
another?
in initiative rounds?
You're not still in initiative rounds at the moment, no.
So if you killed one, then this is the second. There's still at least one more. If there really is only 3.
Or unless they overestimated the number of their opponents.
That's true.
Never
Maybe they saw...
underestimate the number of opponents.
Sometimes you do see double when you're stressed, but I'd rather overestimate how many there are than be wrong. Underestimate and be caught by surprise.
I do not disagree.
Okay, so you are down in W9. Now, quick reminder for after this, you noticed that she was pouring something into the vat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Which vat was it?
it was the furthest vat on the left.
So we probably don't want that vat going out anywhere.
You know, my thought was that we could deal with it after we found the remaining druids.
All right.
Do
So,
you want to just like mark an X on the outside of it so we remember which one it was?
sure, you can do so.
Sure.
Shasta will do that with her dagger that she'll put, like she's one of her daggers. Just X.
Alright.
This one.
So, one sec, guys. I'm just going to double check something real quick.
And I think I can lay on hands on myself to heal some points because I'm just over half down.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead.
Oh, there's a new roll. I just spin them. No, it is.
Okay. What's that?
Do 15.
Okay, that's done. Okay. One. Okay. All right. So, looking around here, which way do you go? There's a door to the. There are two doors that angle up to the north. A pair of double doors and a single door. At the north side of this room, there is a door to the south that is located beneath. Pardon me, at the top of the stairwell. There are two doors to the left side of the room, we'll say. Which way are you headed?
So, are the doors all closed?
The doors are all closed except for the two on the left, which both hang open. A quick glance in one of them shows that it leads to a spiral staircase that goes both up and down. And the other are a pair of doors in sequence that lead outside.
Okay. And they're both open?
They are both open, yes.
So we can see straight through. Okay,
If they are
let's...
tampering with the wine, it might be best to head to the cellar.
Yeah. You didn't see anything else upstairs?
We
Yes, you
didn't
did.
look.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, let's check downstairs and then...
Okay.
Can we... I'm gonna... Shasta's actually gonna check the doors at the top. Or like... just to see what they are.
So the doors at the top, it looks like...
Starting with the one on the furthest right. So those...
the furthest right. So
Yeah.
one of them leads to a wine storage room, a barrel storage room, that is.
Okay.
And the next leads to a veranda.
Okay. Basically, she just doesn't want someone like sneaking out and attacking them
However, you will
when they go
not...
down.
So it looks like you are not going to be able to open the doors more than about an inch or two because they are chained shut from inside.
On either of those doors?
On the to the veranda, yes.
So they're... Oh, that's a window. That's the little thing as a window. I'm guessing.
It is...
'Cause there's the-
Apparently it's a smaller door.
Oh. Because there's like the double doors. Oh, I guess because you have the big double doors to move the vat? No, that doesn't
knows?
make any sense. I have no clue.
It's chained shut from your side. You'd have to cut the chain to be able to do it.
She doesn't care enough. She just wants to make sure that they're not being opened and attacked.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
Casting light on my shield and
Okay.
assuming people are coming with me, going towards one of the spiral staircases that leads down towards the cellar.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will follow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
so,
basically just a cursory glance and then tailing behind.
I'll go get my dagger back and then follow.
Okay, so as you get your dagger back, Zan, you are going to notice that the woman that was there and is nothing more than an awful husk. She's wearing an animal skin gown and a horned headdress and has a necklace made of human teeth.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna have to take that just in case.
I mean, you might as well. So,
Just in case. You never know when you need a human teeth necklace.
Hey, it's all part of the plan.
Let me know when you know what the plan is.
So,
I always
heading
know
down
what the plan is.
You will come down the spiral staircase into the cellar. Are you trying to be stealthy as you're doing this, or is it's pretty much all lost at this point?
No, we've
All
announced
the cards are
ourselves.
on the
Yeah.
table. There was a literal thunderclap and then a death shriek that killed 50-ish twig monsters. Like,
That's true. All right, so that's
and my shield is glowing with light.
true.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's good. It's good. I'm gonna say this is my luck roll.
I
okay.
am going to
Announce
be
yourself.
stealthy. Because if
Just-
they're expecting Brother Cars, they might not be expecting me to come down that quietly right behind them.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Go ahead and make a stealth roll. Yeah. In the winery,
19.
19. As you head downstairs, wooden pillars and beams support the 10-foot-high ceiling of this ice-cold cellar. You find your breath puffing out into the air as soon as you hit its level. This room is split in two by a 5-foot-thick brick wall. A thin mist covers the floor. Each half of the cellar features an 8-foot-tall wooden partition that doubles as a wine rack. The rack on your side stands empty, but the one on the other side of the room beyond the partition is half full of wine bottles. In the distance, you think that you can hear someone with a gravelly voice mutter the words of a spell. All right. Can I get initiative off of everyone?
Sure.
Ah!
Okay.
Nice job.
Getting more aware as the night goes on.
4.
Well-
You still beat me.
20.
20?
19.
Zan?
12.
Okay. And I guess Ismark and Arena as well. Oh, damn. Damn, Ismark. Man, this druid's not having a good day.
None of them are.
Okay.
And that
Brother
brain
Karas,
gives me a good day.
stepping down into the basement, you can see this druid is chanting, calling forth and waiting to cast a spell as soon as he hears someone approach. You will notice him in the distance, though. What do you do?
Well, let us meet spells with spells.
All right.
How dark is it down here, actually?
It is dark with the exception of your light and a... Actually, yes, it is dark with the exception of your light.
All right. Perhaps a strange thing, but I am going to call down non-hurtful fire upon this druid. They can make a dexterity saving throw, and if they fail,
I failed.
okay, then they are surrounded by, in this case, warm, friendly fire. That means any attack roll against the affected creature has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object doesn't gain benefit of being invisible. I'm casting fairy fire.
Fairy
I'm
fire.
just reskinning it to be nice fire instead of purple or green
Nice
or whatever it is.
fire! Nice fire!
And then I'm going to step out of the way and go, have you met my very large friend?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it is 12 squares away, so 60 feet away from you.
Perfect. Fairy fire is a range of 60 feet, and then it drops a 20-foot cube. So
Okay. All right. So next on the initiative,
Oh,
we have
man.
Ismark, who, seeing you heading down that way, will be carrying up the rear right behind you. He is going to step onto the floor. Actually, you know what? He's behind you right now, Dawncaller. So, Dawncaller, what do you do?
Well, I can't get there and attack at the same time. 'Cause that's
cannot.
60 feet.
You can do a ranged attack, though. 'Cause
That
he's-
is true.
So you can run
Alan?
up to the partition and make a ranged attack.
Okay. Are you still allowing me to have rage?
No, you would have come out of it at this point.
Okay. So I will refresh and re-rage.
So for intents and purposes, he's basically hiding just on the other side of the partition.
Okay, I will
1,
run up
2,
and
3.
throw a javelin at him. So I have advantage now?
Yep.
Okay. So that is 16.
16 is a hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Okay, so that is 11 normal damage and 5 radiant.
Five radiant?
Yeah.
All right, so rushing forward, you are going to hurl a javelin into his thigh, and he's going to scream in pain. And with that, it is going to be Zan. It is your turn. Where were you?
I was behind everyone else.
Okay, sounds good. What do you do? So are you going to rush down as well, or just move down slowly?
I'm probably going to move down slowly, probably stick into shadows.
Sounds good. All right, so on his turn, now that Dawncaller is out of the way, Ismark is going to step down, reach to his waist, and raise his light crossbow, which has advantage, and that is a hit. About damn time. Cool. 5 points of 7 points of damage. He fires a crossbow into the man's stomach. Irina as well is going to be holding up the rear with you, Zan, keeping an eye backward. Shasta.
Yeah. So can I approach and shoot with my longbow?
Yes, you may.
Yay! And I have
You will-
advantage,
you
right?
have
Because
advantage.
he's glow. He doing a glow.
He is glow. You will have to rush up basically to the halfway mark to be able to see him.
That's gonna be 21 to hit.
20. Okay, I think that's probably a hit.
Probably. I hope so.
There's
Just
a good
maybe.
chance.
Maybe. And then it's a D8 for damage plus.
I hope you roll an 8.
I hope so. I probably won't, but that was a 7, so total damage is gonna be total of 8 because I only get a +1 to my dexterity.
You only get a +1 to your dexterity?
Yeah.
All right. Where are you aiming?
I was gonna aim for his chest.
All right. He raises his staff as you rush down and draw your bow, and he begins to call forth the thunder wave that's going to strike this enclosed space. Unfortunately, as he does, your arrow catches him in the upper chest, pinning his trachea shut, and he falls to the ground gurgling with a scream that comes half out of his chest like a wolf whistle.
Huh.
And he falls to the ground, clawing at his collapsed throat. And with that, you're out of combat rounds.
Cool. I'm gonna go retrieve my arrow.
Hold on. It comes back fine.
Cool. Nice.
Okay, can I retrieve my javelins?
Yes, you may. With that, you are all going to hear the sound of someone upstairs running rather quickly out of the house. Zan, you are on the main floor with Irina still, kind of descending slowly. You can choose to follow or just let them go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to dash after them.
Okay, dashing after them, you can see a retreating figure running toward the woods.
I will make chase.
All right. You are going to easily be able to do so. Irina is going to stick with you and rush as well. Would you like to make an attack?
Is it gonna slow them down?
If you could, yeah. It looks like one of the druids is running rather quickly, trying to get away from here.
Yeah, I might as well try lobbing a dagger and bring him down.
All right, go ahead.
Ooh, 21.
All right, 21. That is going to fly into the back of his thigh, which is going to slow his escape. Go ahead and roll me damage on that.
7.
7 points of damage. All right. Oh, that's bad. All right. He stumbles forward, and you can see that as your blade strikes him, he yelps, and his skin suddenly takes on a much paler tone, almost as if a second skin recedes back inside. The slightly gnarled look of his skin vanishes and is replaced by a dusty paleness. as he is slowed, Irina is going to rush up as well and hurl her dagger at him. And is spending inspiration. All right. Her dagger is going to go into his other thigh behind yours for a total of 3 points of damage. And she is going to keep her sword raised and wait for your cue. It is your round, Zan. What do you do?
Can I catch up and continue the attack?
You absolutely can.
Without throwing daggers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I will go forward and try to do the old stabby.
Cool. Arena, if you let Arena keep pace with you,
yep.
Then you will have advantage on the attack because she'll be flanking.
Okay, yeah, might as well.
Okay. So go ahead and roll with advantage. Or, pardon me, sorry, not with advantage. You may attack and use sneak attack, is what I mean to say. Yes?
So that's 2 separate rolls, though, right? Or is that 1 roll?
If you're attacking with both knives, it's 2 separate rolls.
Okay, well, because I got a natural 20 on one.
Okay, I would apply the sneak attack to that one.
Yeah. So...
Amy, did you have a question?
I did, but Shasta wants to do a thing down below with this dead body.
Cool. But give me a sec to...
Yeah, that's why I'm just waiting.
Okay. All right, Mike, how much damage did Zan do?
I'm picking out all the dice. Damn. So 5... 21.
All right. Rushing forward, you keep pace with Arena as this druid wheels around, stumbling to his knees as his legs have been impaired by both of your knives. She raises her sword and he turns towards the glint of moonlight off of her blade, which is the perfect chance. Your knife makes a quick slash across his throat, and the body falls, the throat yawning open like a tired child.
Good.
He falls dead to the ground. Meanwhile, in the basement,
Yeah.
Shasta advances on the body, removing her arrow and seeing the blood welling away.
Yeah. So
You drink deeply?
Yeah, because she succeeded at resisting the impulse earlier in the day, but
All right.
It's
You drink.
get in the habit of it.
You drink deeply,
He's already dead.
and you feel incredibly sated and full. You gather all of the blood into your mouth and feel the warm richness of this dirty, dead man's blood pour down your gullet. Your friends watch on with horror. Meanwhile, outside, Irina raises her blade. Do you think that's all of them?
We could try to see if there's more.
You hear the sound of applause.
Oh.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Good show to both of you. You hear from very nearby. There is a sudden bit of light that erupts above you, and your attention is drawn to a handsome man astride a horse with flaming eyes and hooves. He smiles down with sharp, elongated fangs. I was hoping we could have this meeting. Count Strahd von Zarovich is alone with the two of you. And we're going to call game there for the night. So, the next time you rest, you guys will level.
Yay!
But you are not leveling yet.
No.
Because you have to survive the next 20 minutes.
Yes.
No.
So,
All right.
question then, because normally I do the save once a day because we kind of thinking like it's like a hunger meter sort
It's
of.
basically, you're going to be fine until
basically
after
she's
you sleep.
bumped it to the next later in the day or mid. Do you think that changes it at all?
Because before you next sleep.
Okay, so she can sleep, and then we'll have to do it at least.
You'll have
once
to do
more
it sometime the next day, unless you keep watch overnight, in which case you might just eat your friends.
I mean, they just have to donate a pint of fresh blood.
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
I think you should just bottle this guy, see if you can use him later.
Can't. Has to be fresh.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Curse of Strahd. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Are you guys having fun so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike's
I
in
kicked
trouble.
their ass.
I'm
You
sorry. Yeah, you did.
Ugh.
I'm sorry that Isaac is a total douchebag. I didn't write
It's
him.
very funny.
He's very funny. Although I gotta say that the Baron right now, man,
He's
Yeah.
gonna have a really bad time soon. I'm pretty sure.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Before
Bye,
I
everybody.
forget,
Bye.
Don't
I
forget what.
am cutting off the druid heads to take back to what's his face.
Oh yeah, get paid.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.